It is episode 56 of Around the Mage Table, the podcast for the rest of us. I am joined by some serious donkeys over here. I will start by saying hello to Ioski. How you doing today?
A donkey Shrek.
Terrible.
Scrapclaw, how you doing?
I'll do a better one. A donkey. What was that?
What's wrong with you guys?
I love Shrek. That's
Yeah,
like one of my.
I watched it with my kids yesterday. It's great.
Oh, it's
a
so
great movie.
good. It holds up. Excellent.
But I think the fifth one's going to be a disaster. Anyways, Lithium,
I don't much like the
what do you
sequels.
think of the Shrek 5 movie?
I don't care about
Zendaya's
that,
going to be the daughter, man. It's going to be great.
Ooh.
I don't even know who that is.
What?
So-
Yes, you do. Don't
Yes, you do.
How-
The
is that-
girl from Euphoria.
or
That-
the
that
Spider-Man
doesn't-
movies, or
Whatever.
any movie in the
Dune.
past, like
Yeah.
she's all right.
she's
Anyways,
some girl. I don't know.
This isn't a pop culture podcast.
well, we tried
Thank
to end it
God.
with our movie recommendations. I'm now going to recommend all Zendaya movies from now on. Zendaya,
Oh.
Zendaya, I don't know.
Like,
you
you
don't
didn't
even know
say
how
her
to say it.
name right.
Nah, well, that's just my age showing there. I will start by saying I'm a little under the weather, so I apologize if I keep like clearing my throat. I got a big jug of water. It's that changing of the season. I think my sinuses are catching up with me.
Whiskey will take care of you.
It's that new
It
COVID.
also, I think, is the fact that, I have a full-time job. I have 3 kids that require my full attention, and then I decide to
A
play WoW
single
until an
mom who
hour.
works
That is,
2 jobs, who loves kids and never stops.
You know,
are you gonna get
shouldn't-
AI to make music? Anyways,
You shouldn't play WoW 7 nights a week, man.
well, we'll talk about that in just a second, okay? I also want to say quickly before we jump into things, thank you to everyone who has hit our milestone of 2,000 subscribers. We really appreciate it. When we started this podcast, 2-3 years ago, we really did it because we didn't expect anyone to listen, but we thought we'd have fun doing it. We're actually getting somewhere with this, and so I greatly appreciate it. We hope to continue that. If you haven't already, click the subscribe button and all that fun YouTube nonsense that everyone always talks about. While we are officially a paid channel now, we're really doing it just to kind of feed the channel to make it even better. It's not about, we all have full-time jobs and all that stuff. So everything you guys do for us, we appreciate, and we hope to continue to do stuff back for y'all, including maybe seeing everyone at BlizzCon next year. So with that said, let's jump into our content today. We'll start by doing a wheel update, and this will go back to where you guys were saying I shouldn't be playing 7 days a week. This wheel contest has created a little bit of a problem for me. So, here's my character right here, and we can actually go on and show our leader right now, which is Patera. Scrap,
Which
do you
is
wanna-
me.
Yeah, do you want to take any
Okay.
talk about
3K.
your
Yeah.
journey so far as a enhanced
So
shaman?
I really wanted by raid to roll in with a 3K mount before anybody else had it. So on Tuesday and Wednesday, I was hitting keys super hard. I think I did like 8 hours of Halls of Atonement one day to try to get the 13 done because it was really, really, really hard, which was excessive. Was missing them by like 2 seconds, 10 seconds. And enhance, I was saying this is what I keep saying, is that like if you want to get 3K and you're pretty good at the game, it's hard. But if you're like really bad and you don't know how to play and your class is really undertuned, it's like so hard. And that's kind of the experience I had earlier this week. But I did it, so
Let's be,
I've
hold
been,
on.
yeah.
Let's be honest, Scrap. So hard that you hit it in week 3.
Well,
I put a lot of hours in though. Like I put like a lot of
68
hours
runs,
in.
68 runs.
click on charts.
I'll give
Yeah,
Scrap
so-
credit.
So last
and
weekend,
then scroll down.
Yeah.
In
What
the
is
middle.
that?
Scroll down.
That's
Scroll
right
down,
there.
scroll
there you go.
down.
Sorry, I didn't know
No,
this
Oh,
window
charts.
was-
down. That's when Scrap was hitting it hard right there.
Yeah, so I
Is
was
this-
super.
Wait, is this like an average of weeks? Like she just
Oh,
Well,
I
that's-
can't. I don't know what that is.
Wednesday at
That's
9
when
a.m.
she-
You're running a key, Scrap?
Wednesday at
Yeah,
9 a.m.
10
I don't
a.m.
know how
I didn't do that.
accurate this is, but
That's not accurate. No,
it's,
so
it's
last
pulling
week,
it from what Raider.io has.
last week I was
I love
really
the idea of
sick,
this,
and
though.
so I was stuck at home,
Yeah.
and I was just like hitting
needs work.
keys. Yeah, and I was super bored. Yeah, so here's what my plan was. I was gonna hit 3K really fast. People would drop out, just like they're like, "Oh man, that's way too much." Now I'm in maintenance mode. I'm not trying to push any further. I'm already like in 13s. I'm the struggle busting quite a bit, so I'm good. And did you
Look
see
at all
there's
your
breaking
13s.
news on the wheel right now?
Just
this
break.
is
Yeah,
breaking?
I saw that.
I saw in
that.
our wheel Discord
I-
channel right
ye-
now breaking news.
I
This is
will.
official
We'll
or
cut
no?
to our correspondent Ioski out in the field. Ioski, what's going on out there, bud?
I asked you out here still at 0IO. making an official announcement. I've decided to relinquish my 100k gold. I am dropping from the wheel
You are?
contest. Yep,
Oh
Okay.
shit!
dropping from the wheel contest.
He
Can
said
I ask
no
you a
keys.
question, Io?
Yeah, sure.
With-
yeah.
with-
Okay. For press conference, let's go. Bring it. I'm ready.
Frank from the MDL podcast.
Oh, yep. Hey.
With possible 5 to 6 months to go in the season, why
Yep.
would you relinquish money for no reason other than to say you've quit?
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I feel like the longer the season goes on, the less time and motivation I'm gonna find to do it.
No, but you're gonna get bored on your main, don't you think?
Maybe.
So don't quit.
So I threw the money away. It's gone.
No, you already did officially.
I mean,
no, I think. Go on.
Oh, what's up? Oh no, I was gonna say. I mean, maybe at some point, like I'll jump into it, but I do feel like there's a point where, especially once Turbo Boost comes out, it's just gonna be a really tough hill to climb, and I don't think I'm gonna want to do it, especially just because I've been having a lot of fun on my main, and also
You
I
also
just
Mythic Raid,
didn't
which
think,
none of us do.
Yeah, and also I just didn't really realize everyone's gonna go so hard right away, and I thought I had some time, and
Oh no.
nope.
See,
Nope.
my strategy fucking worked.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Got
though,
him to
like,
quit.
Io, this shouldn't affect you because the truth is it's nowhere. Like, she doesn't gain any advantage other than maybe getting her 10s done for her vault earlier than us.
Right.
But
I think you're
again,
wrong. I
I
think
did,
it's easier to pug early in the
I did
season.
want to do it specifically. The main reason I
Maybe.
really wanted to do it was to help Frank get his data for the like
the science experiment.
denies and all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also think too, like, you know, it's one of those things where I don't really have time to play this character a whole lot. And yeah, sure, I could play it later in the season, and maybe I will, you know, maybe I'll still, you know, contribute in some capacity. But I just feel like, you know, if someone else is playing their wheel as kind of like a main, I don't really have the opportunity to do that. So I feel like it's better to just kind of set the expectation that, you know, I'm not going to really be in it, and then who knows.
Well, my buddy Shawnee also quit.
Yeah, he just did it now in the Discord.
And
Oh, man. They're
and
dropping like
Haywire
flies.
Well, Haywire hasn't officially said he quit. has he?
Haywire's
He
not
keeps
going to
teasing
quit.
it.
I will
He's
say
going to come
this.
later.
Teasing it.
Obviously, I don't know if we're gonna. I know we've talked about doing this again, but doing it where we're okay with pugging with each other. I think I'd be more willing to do that just because the ability to get into keys will be easier. But
Oh, that's next expansion.
yeah, that's the next expansion. So
Well, and I also think there might be.
he did one run.
I have an idea for the next one where we have head-to-heads every week. Like, you have to do one key against someone in a key, like a cat fight thing.
I think a teams would be cool also. Like if
yeah,
we could
yeah,
pair
exactly.
a tank
Yeah,
and a
that'd be
DPS,
cool.
it would be easier to get into
Yeah.
keys.
But anyways,
Yeah.
okay. So yeah, I guess Shawnee's out, but again, not official. I haven't seen the official.
No, he
I-
officially
It's
he
there.
said,
he
"I,
just put
Shawnee
it-
of sound mind."
He did. He said, "I quit and
no,
forfeit
no.
my money for this" in the channel
I didn't
just
see
now.
that. I didn't
He
see
He
that.
didn't say the extra words.
Yeah.
But he did say the words.
All right,
definitely,
well,
just wanna apologize to anybody out there that maybe was really pulling for me. Thought I'd be the one to do it. Just not
Bro.
up to the snuff this time.
all right, Lithium. What about you, bud?
Well, I'm
Number
I'm
two.
exci-
You overtook
I'm gonna
me.
catch up.
This week. You overtook me.
I'm gonna
Um,
catch up to Scrap next week.
We'll talk about Fury Warrior and the changes that happened this week in just a minute. So
Dude,
you do have
Fury is popping off,
yeah,
dude.
you have advantage over Scrap.
Yeah,
where
my
she's
spec
playing
sucked.
a poopy spec,
Yeah.
and you've now just taken a meta spec out from underneath the. Again, the Warriors would have never guessed this was going to be their season,
Nope.
right? Everyone kept talking about how this might be the more caster comps, but seems to be Fizz comp
Nikki.
is coming in.
His comp. Hell yeah.
Unfortunately,
Nikki
for
is coming.
Scrap, I think the reason why people might be taking enhanced still, despite the fact that it's not elemental, is because they just so badly want that what is it, the Wind Fury buff?
Yeah, and I
Submarine.
provide Lust also to a lot of groups.
Yeah, that's true.
So here's the advantage I did have is that if you're really early in the season, you bump your score up super fast. Then when you're applying to 13s, there's not a lot of people with an appropriate score. And so you're like, Jesus Christ, all these 27, 2800s trying to apply to my 13, and they just see somebody who's at 29 and they instantly take them. I mean, I had people think I was elemental or at least not know what enhance is. Because like people were saying like, oh, you're ranged, right? I'd be like, yeah, sure. You know,
Oh my gosh. You
Unbelievable.
lie.
but so
You
that's the
lie,
advantage I was
cheat.
trying to
Lie, cheat, and steal.
I'm not cheating, but I am lying. So
I ran a check just to make sure the violation thing was working, and I looked in the database, and it's legit. Like nobody has done anything wrong.
I'm paranoid too. Like I keep seeing names that are similar, and
Yeah,
I'm
dude,
like,
it's-
wait, fuck. And I also I got grouped with somebody early in it who was someone who wasn't Lithian and I knew years ago, and
Oh
I
my
left.
God.
So I was like, no, I'm not gonna fuck with this.
I had a guild invite me to join them for raid, and I had to politely decline and explain
Yeah.
to them what was going on, and they didn't seem interested at all, and that hurt my feelings. So
Oh.
Yeah, that's
they're
pretty
just
funny.
like, dude, we just wanted to come. We don't
They're
really
like,
need the
dude,
life story.
Didn't ask. Yeah.
Didn't ask.
Yeah.
Just hit reject.
All
it's
right.
fine.
Well, I'm getting word that there is another field correspondent who wants to talk a little bit about his wheel experience. Let's go to Frank in the field. Frank?
Frank in the field.
Yep. Frank here. Want to talk about how I want to quit WoW because I hate everything again and now I don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, we went through a whole
what this
Frank's quitting
reminds me
WoW
of?
arc.
What's this? reminder?
Remember that episode of South Park where they're the kids doing the news, and it's like, all right, let's go to Butters with the celebrity watch. I saw Sigourney Weaver.
So fun.
Speaking of pop culture, South Park's having a renaissance right now. Anyways.
Don't spoil it. I'm catching up next week.
Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm third right now. Lithian, you overtook me. Now, in fairness, I'm a little happy the fact to see that I have done 32 runs to Scrap's 68 and you're 42 and, hanging in there. So that's good. But the truth is, I don't like Affliction. We already really hammered that home. It is at least performing well, or I'm performing well at it, that I'm not worried about being in Scrap's shoes
Yeah.
where she's a dog shit spec.
It's hard.
But that said, while I am enjoying the competition aspect of it, I am it is killing me that I'm not playing this social game with my friends, right? In fairness, I am very competitive, and so therefore I want to really win badly. And I told Scrap I will go to any length to make sure I win, if at my expense of my sanity.
I said, brother, you don't have to do that. You're really not having fun.
Just hand me the million
I'm
gold.
having fun competing. I'm having fun
Okay.
competing. What I hate though is that I'm competing in a bubble, right? I can't. So here's what normally happens for us. Tuesday, Thursday, we have raid. Tuesday night, Thursday, maybe after raid, we'll do some E-Team keys. Maybe we'll do some E-Team keys on a Sunday or Monday night, right? And then the remaining days of the week, right? To Lithian's point of me playing 7 days a week, it's Wednesday, let's say Friday, Saturday, right? Well, Wednesday is usually my, Wednesday wheel day, right? And because Lithian's not available and Scrap, you're usually not going to come into Discord.
I
unless,
normally don't play Wednesdays.
Yeah. And Ioski, I think you don't Mythic raid, you do Friday and Saturday, right?
Yeah, no, Mythic Dreams Friday and Saturday. I have a board game / D&D group I do every week that can be Tuesday or Thursday dependent.
Yeah.
So I'm not always on Wednesday Wednesday or Thursday dependent. So I'm not always on Wednesday.
Well, and either way, right? I want to play WoW, and no one's on Wednesday night. And I say no one. There's obviously an asterisk to that, but I'm like, this is a good wheel night. And I'm just sitting by myself, and I'll be in Discord, but I'm just by myself, laser focused, listening to music, and it's just oh man, this is not the experience I want. And what I found, and I talked to Scrap about this, is that it's also impacting my other gameplay feelings. The raid, by the way, the raid is great. I think this is one of the best raids. It's, the bosses, I don't with Undermine and all that other stuff, I felt okay, some of them, but all these bosses I'm feeling are pretty fun, and I'm enjoying it so far.
Yep.
Even the bum ones at the start. But even our E-Team keys, holy shit. I thought switching to tanking would give me some new life, and it is not going very well right now.
See, I do feel like the reason I'm gonna ultimately win is not because I'm competitive or whatever, but because I genuinely like Enhance and I genuinely like pugging.
No.
Just by myself in the middle of the night,
Poor Frank's trying to talk about his struggles here, and Scrap's just
I'm
let me talk
just
about
Let me tell you how much fun I'm having.
I know. I just think that's the difference is that if you don't enjoy it,
I will say Scrap
harder.
usually does pug, especially on her hunter late a lot of the time. So yeah, this is definitely in her wheelhouse. But I do think that her also enjoying it helps a lot too.
No,
probably
it doesn't matter. You guys don't understand.
Go on,
Scrap has the power of persistence, right? And
no
like
children.
question mark.
Oh, I
She's
gotta get
gonna
back on that.
prog.
Oh,
She's
she
gonna
gave up on
prog
that.
on that. It's no fun. She's hating it.
I
She's
love it.
complaining about it.
But no, I complain, but I love complaining
No.
about it.
Yeah, you love to complain and you love to persist, and you will persist until the end, and that's
Mhm.
why you win these dumb contests. But
Yep.
guess
She
what?
doesn't though. That's the thing.
I do.
Well, she's winning now.
Winning now.
Yes. And how many times has she taken an early lead and then lost at the end of the season?
Well,
Well, 'cause I don't play to the end of
Every
the season.
single fucking
Well,
time.
It depends on how many times
She
moves
lost the game about how to build plugs. She lost the TDV game.
Oh, that was
She
rigged.
lost-
She changes the rules so that it sounds like she wins, but
No,
she
I don't-
actually loses.
I don't play by rules that I lose to, if that makes sense. So you say you want to do an IO thing. I say I'm going to 3K.
I'm going to 3K fastest.
Yeah, and I do that every season, and it's my game that I like to do.
I wanna
And I did it
interrupt
on
you
a
so
character
badly.
I don't even know how to play this season.
Who's big
No,
stick?
dude.
That Phoenix.
That's
Phoenix,
Nikki.
yeah.
Yeah, Nikki.
Nikki.
So let's be clear, Scrap. You're saying that
Mm-hmm.
it's all about 3K for you, but despite the fact that last season, once you hit 3K and you saw me pushing to 32, 33, you started pushing too.
Well, I just want to. So okay, here we've talked about this before, but
Mhm,
here's what I really
mhm.
want. I want to get to that limit where I'm feeling pushed. Like I want to feel like it's hard. If I get to a point where I start to feel like I'm a weight in the key, I'm done. I don't want to push any further than that.
You've
The
been
score
away
doesn't
in every key.
really
I
matter to
literally
me.
proved it this week with
Oh,
all your.
shut up,
Which,
man.
by the way, you're breaking the rules because you're supposed to be logging everything. As
log 'em,
Io
I'll log
pointed out,
them.
we're trying to get the data.
Right, I have
Do you
the
guys
Lithians
think-
mod data. It's fine.
Do you guys think that you could somehow ever put this like apprehensive competitive energy together and teamwork your way
Yes,
with like
I've,
I want to
I've
do
actually
MDI.
pitched that
Do like-
before.
to do like a really
So,
high like
well,
Can we,
Oh,
see
no,
how
can we
you
talk
can
about this?
push her.
Can we talk about this
Yeah.
real quick?
So-
Because I don't
Do
think
we
we're
have
going
to
to
talk
do
about
MDI.
this?
We're not going to do MDI this year.
No,
Yes,
we are. We are.
No, we're
We
not.
are.
No.
We're just
Why?
not gonna do it seriously. Okay, I gotta put a timestamp for this one.
No, we're not. So let's timestamp this. MDI has been announced. And
Timestamp
actually,
is MDI crash out.
I need to actually check real quick because I need to know the dates. I might not even be available for it.
Wait,
But anyways,
so hold on.
on,
Before you
sorry.
jump
Oh
into
my
that, can we
gosh.
just take it back real quick? So like you were
Yep.
considering quitting WoW exactly. Why exactly?
Well, we're gonna get into it because
Well,
Io brought up. It's like,
uh,
oh, we should clickbait Frank's quitting WoW as the thing, and he was like, I don't know if I want to talk about it. Like this whole
I
argument.
want to talk about
but
it.
we're talking about it right at the top of the show.
I want to talk about it
Let's
100%.
Go on, crash
I'm
out,
concerned for my friend Frank.
Diva. It's your moment. Explain.
Okay,
Crash
no,
out.
look, okay. So, all right. I will talk about MDI in a second. Why am I thinking officially? Why am I thinking of quitting? Well, the truth is, I'm not having fun as much. Honestly, I'm probably having the most fun doing my wheel character, if I'm being honest. Because again, like,
Uh-oh.
Fuck, dude, we did 2 nights of pushing this week, and you were like, "Oh, I actually feel like I'm enjoying
I
myself."
can't
And you
even
like doing your
finish
wheel
explaining my
better.
depression before she wants to tell me why my
Yeah,
depression is
scrap.
worse.
Let him finish. He's on
I'm
his
sorry.
he's on his
So,
podium.
Anyways,
Your moment.
right? I've been enjoying the wheel character. Raid has been good, but raid's only 2-3 hours a week or whatever. And then E-Team, which is where, as you brought up, I ask you, like, where can we funnel that energy into a cooperative thing? E-Team, in my opinion, and I'm gonna say, has been a disaster, right?
That's
My
tough.
tanking.
Poor Lithian.
No, it's not. It's not just that. I'm gonna take responsibility for it too, right? Like my tanking just hasn't felt great. And while I'd say I'm doing more DPS, again, it just something feels off. I can't really put my thumb on it. But yeah, I don't feel like I'm playing with my friends at the moment. Even when I'm in E-Team, like it's just kind of like this friction there. And to go on to the MDI point, last time we did MDI, I wanted to do it. I was looking so forward to it, and I thought while we were doing it, it was great. And God knows we wouldn't make it into it, but what if, like that big what if we could get into the top 24 or whatever it is? And as I'm talking to Scrap, as I'm talking to Haywire or Healer, it's just like, I'm not worried about it. And there's no point to do MDI if we're not going to commit, at least to a degree. I'm not saying we have to be like stupid sweaty, but like let's be sweaty, right? So Scrap, what are you gonna casually do a competition?
So I enjoyed when we did MDI. I thought it was really fun. I was disappointed that we
Yeah.
could only do it for a couple hours because of how our
Yeah.
schedules lined up. And I think it could be fun. Like even if we don't qualify, I like having all the best gear. It's fun.
Sure.
I-
Sorry, go on.
I think. I mean, we had fun last time, and
Yeah, it
I
was
think we could have
fun.
pushed through. I think, like, if people want to do it, I'm down, right?
Yeah, I'm down.
But I think we have a fragmented team at the moment, right?
Mhm,
Yeah.
mhm.
Where we need to. I think we need to fix. We need to fix our team a little bit. I'll say
Yeah.
that and leave it there.
We need some team building exercises. Put in the comments what are good team building exercises
We're
for
gonna
your
go to
Mythic
Dave and
Plus
Buster's.
team.
I
Yeah, let's
said
pick
you
on
guys
Oh,
should
gosh.
get that gamer health guy, the therapist guy, on and do a e-team.
Oh my god, dude, he would quit. It would be like these people need to be institutionalized.
Yeah, I mean, God. Well, there's other drama there. I'm not going to get into.
Don't
it,
air out all
I'm
the
not going
dirty
to, I'm not
laundry,
going
but
to. No, no.
Frank is crashing out this week multiple times over trivial sorts of things.
So
I think.
No,
much-
you
so
say
much trash
trivial.
out this
No,
week.
you say
Wow.
trivial, but the truth is like it's not about the performance. It's about the experience, right?
Can I tell you something, Frank?
Oh, here we go.
I
Oh
don't
my
think
gosh.
this game is designed to be played 40 hours a week. So I think if you're feeling like you're not enjoying it so much, like we could dial it back a little bit. You know?
I mean,
Hold on,
Like,
hold on.
to be
hold on.
fair,
Mhm.
I spend more time with you guys
Yes,
than I
yes,
do
yeah.
my family sometimes
Well, not my
during
family,
the week, right?
but everyone
Well,
else, my real life
my
friends.
my friends,
Yeah.
friends, and then, I mean, I tolerate like the people that live here with me, but they don't watch the podcast, so it's okay. But
Damn, families
know-
won't support us. Give us those 1 millicent clicks.
Yeah, we can get something out of it,
I
right?
mean, I don't even
No,
do that.
But I mean, I
That's
like
true.
spending time with y'all, and it's hard when we can't get aligned, when we got a little bit of drama, when we got we're just not
Yeah.
feeling great. So
Well,
I
that's
get
my
it.
point too. It's that, like Scrappy say, I'm playing 40 hours a week, but the truth is I'm playing less than I ever have. Right?
Yeah.
One, because like I have kids now, and the more kids, the more fucking time I have like not to do things. But two, my kids are now going to like proper school, so I can't just like take them in whenever the fuck I wake up or whatever.
Mhm.
So I have to be up at 6 in the morning every day, which means that's another part of the reason why I'm like crashing out. It's because it's like, oh my God, I want to, okay, I'll just tell you about my Sekiro, right? Like when I'm dad mode, I am dad mode, right? Like I am full on, the kids have my undivided attention, I'll jump into Discord and say something, but otherwise like I'm trying to like, be 100% there. So when they go to bed at 9 o'clock and I flick that switch off, it's like this huge like relief of like, okay, I don't have to be on stage kind of. Let's go
Yeah.
game. Let's go fucking push. Let's have some fucking fun, right?
Yeah.
And so, when it's now 9 to what used to be 2, 3 a.m. when we'd be playing, right?
Mhm.
Well, those don't exist anymore. Now it's like 12, 12:30. I'm like fighting. Even last night, Scrap, you were trying to.
But you were up to like 2 last night.
No, I was up till 1. I was up till 1 because you
Oh,
weaseled
okay.
me into a Dawnbreaker or whatever it was.
Ara Kara that
Ara
you
Kara.
bricked in about 5 minutes.
I didn't brick it. You guys did, but that's not. We're not airing our laundry, right, Scrap?
Man,
I
I kind of want to air that one out. because
I want to hear about it.
I'm
No,
pretty
the
sure
long and short
that
of it,
you
I
tanked it too
break the
close.
Dawnbreaker. I will take that responsibility, right?
Oh,
But
yeah.
How'd you
we
break
did
the
our
Dawnbreaker?
car, what,
Right.
13? 13 our car?
Yeah, 13, which is the only thing I needed for 3K on my hunter.
No, it's not the only thing she needed. But anyways.
Well, now it is.
So we were doing the first boss, and I positioned the boss so that if they kept their backs to the
No.
eggs, Scrap-
He
scrap-
put it too
scrap.
close.
Scrap.
Yes.
I positioned
One.
it like I did every time before, where you have this space where you can still hit the boss, turn around, hit the spiders. If you don't move, it doesn't matter because the spiders just chase you, not the boss, right? Well, I don't know who it was. I'm not going to accuse anyone, but Scrap seems to say it was one of our e-teamers.
Okay.
Sam.
So if you
I wasn't
tank
there.
it too close, like yes, you're supposed to be close enough for people to squeeze in there and stuff, but you were too close, and I told you were too close. The legs were on the egg spawns, so we had a very slim area. You were towing the line too hard, and I specifically said that's too close. That's too close.
Slim for what?
Like if anybody is slightly out of position, which I won't say who it was, but somebody was out of position inside the boss, and it just collected all of them. doesn't matter. But I feel like you're exaggerating the situation. Like you're describing the correct thing to do. You want to give a little space in between, but be kind of right up on it. But if
Oh
you
my
have the
God.
legs hanging over,
Keystone Kindergarten by
Can-
Scrap.
if
Can
you
we
have the
talk about
legs
another
hanging
reason
over
why
the
I've been
egg
crashing
spawns,
out? Is because Scrap has been fucking micro. You guys
I'm
always gave me
backseating.
hell about the backseat
the
franking.
backseat franking.
But
Yeah.
here's the
Oh,
thing. My
gosh.
backseat franking would be like what do you call it? Passive aggressive, right? Scrap is aggressive.
I'm
Like,
aggressive. Yeah, I'm
aggressive,
like
aggressive.
barking orders.
no, not
Yeah,
even
well,
barking orders. You're just saying,
Yeah.
hey, this is the mob. You should use the taunt button, and then you'll be able to hold aggro. And it's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I
These are the
would
mobs
say
we gotta interrupt. This is the
yeah,
Yeah.
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 Well, a lot of times I'm saying it for myself, you know?
No,
like
you're not.
I'm
You'll be like, hey, Frank, you should interrupt
sometimes I
Star.
am.
Frank, you're not interrupting Star. Frank,
this
there's
is the,
14 seconds
well,
left on the interrupt.
big
Please interrupt
AoE.
it.
Everyone use a defensive.
Sometimes I am specifically
I don't mind
asking
to use
you
the
to do
defensive
something.
parts because
But yeah, I would say when I'm in a key, I don't. This is hard for the audience to believe, but I do not stop talking from the beginning of the key
That's
to
true.
the end of the key.
That's true.
And it's not always I'm talking to anybody in particular. A lot of times
No.
I'm just talking.
There's a lot of time. Well, those ones too, I feel like you actually really wanted to time, so you were more
yeah. So if I want to
more
time
on
it,
point.
yeah.
Whereas sometimes, a lot of times, you're just talking about random stuff too.
Yeah. But if I don't have
Like,
that, if I'm trying to lock in, then I need to talk about the dungeon, things that we're doing in the dungeon, like using defensives or interrupt. Or Frank, that's too close. So
Or if other people are in a dungeon, you get a enhanced shaman lesson. And no one else can talk about. What
I
they're
wasn't
doing.
locked in. I wasn't locked in. But so it's not always direct at you, but you'll know it's direct at you when I say Frank, do this. So
it's
that's where the crash out.
Go on, Lithia.
I love hearing the stories. I'm sad I missed the keys last night because Wednesday is my
I've
night
run
off.
this
More
about
keys.
5 years now, right? I'm curious as to where she thinks that I don't know the exact person. Scrap, who has run more keys with you in the longevity of all of this shit, MDL shit, right?
I think
You
Lithian.
and I. Oh, fuck off.
I honestly think that he's always number one on my list. And I'm always
because I
number
have
one on
alts.
his.
Because I have tons of alts.
That's
Granted,
true.
he does too sometimes. But
It's pretty. I would say it's close though.
anyways, point is, I know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
And you last night were gonna get strangled.
Well, let's just
actually all week I should say.
It is a little bit of a bit that I've been flexing that I'm like ahead in some ways because I did so many keys because I was sick. But I have done 68
in 13s,
keys
we
in a
would
month.
do it like this.
Yeah, well that's a bit, but like having done 68 keys in a month, which is obscene for me. Normally I end the season with about 300.
No,
like
what?
so that's true, or less.
Well, less, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Lithium, you did like
than.
3.
Maybe
You did
I'm
like
wrong.
270 last season, didn't you?
Maybe more like
I don't know.
200.
I did a lot.
I'm
Yeah,
thinking
I'd say you're like
wrong.
190s is my guess.
Yeah,
Anyways.
so the fact that I've already knocked out like half the keys in the first month is crazy, right? So I have a very specific vision of how I've seen things tank the way I want things tanked the way I want every dungeon to go because of my 68 keys under my belt.
That's just blossomed now after 5 years of playing with you.
Well, yeah, maybe the impatience of doing freaking 68 keys that half of them bricked in a month. So I was just, I'm giving you my knowledge that I've learned.
By the way, how many of these
field.
68? How many of these 68 have been how many more did you have untimed that you had to abandon or whatever?
Oh, is 68 only timed?
Yeah.
Oh, abandoned. Well, when I was doing the HOA for like a whole day, like literally like 8 hours straight, everybody knows who's been hitting HOA, especially at like the 12-13 level, that about 50% of the time it bricks on the first pull and 25% of the time it bricks on the second story. And then let's see what I'm at. 24% of the time it bricks somewhere between there and the last boss. So you have 1% completion rate.
So
and
you really attempted 600 dungeons this week, or not even
Yeah,
6,000.
but it was
6,000
very
dungeons because
efficient.
1%.
Very efficient. A lot of it was fast.
You fail fast, right? That's what they always say.
I just parked outside of Halls of Atonement at a point. I was just
I had the same problem
out
to get
and in,
my
out and in.
to get my 2K. I had to do HOA.
Should we maybe start talking about like the dungeon? Like, let's talk about news for a second. Are we done doing therapy?
No, in all
'Cause
seriousness,
that would be a good lead-in to the dungeon.
I need to know if Frank is actually going to quit.
no, I'm not going to quit. And here's the reason. Two reasons why. One, there's no other game to play right now, and two, because
peak.
Silk
well,
Song.
yeah, no, actually, that was my point. 2,
Yeah.
I feel like I just need like a remedy of like social gaming, right? Because like you said, we did a couple of keys on Frank and Ariosto, my tank and my mage, and like we just like vibed with some high key challenging,
Yeah, we
but
had fun.
we had a good group, right? And that was good, and that kind of like cleansed the palate. But like you said, Scrap, we need to play some games where it's just like debauchery of hilarity and all that shit. So keep an eye out. We're gonna do I think a peak stream sometime this maybe week, hopefully, where that will be a ton of fun. So
I'm happy to play
Let's
peak.
move
I
on
want to do that chain together again too.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
Chain
well,
Gang or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's really
Okay,
fun.
well, do you want to talk about the buffs really quickly?
Yeah, I think
Sure.
because I want to talk about Halls of Atonement a little bit. Like, I want to talk about the dungeon.
Give her
balancing.
expertise from the 600 she
Well, it doesn't really matter anymore because all my expertise out the window because they nerfing the shit out of it allegedly.
All right, I'm an idiot. I didn't pull it up.
Well,
So while you're talking about, tell me
you-
what are the buffs coming? Or nerfs?
I don't know. You have to pull it up.
I know they're they're nerfs. They're not really buffs.
They're nerfs.
Yeah, there's nerfs
Buffs
to the
for us.
dungeons, buffs for the players. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me recap it real quick.
You
So
recap.
the Trilling Attendant, right, which has a resonant barrage in Ara Kara. It's like you know where you have all the little crawlers that do poisons, the engorged crawlers, I think they are. Yeah.
I love
there'll be
pulling
that
them
one
all.
caster that you hit once when he has just a bolt, and then he has a resonant barrage that you have to interrupt. That's like the big interrupt. So that cooldown, the initial cooldowns increase, so he takes a little longer to start casting that. The ability cooldown is increased by 50%, so he'll do it 50% less, and it's been nerfed by 12.5%. So that's nice.
Yeah. Okay.
Engorged crawlers, there's venomous spit ability cooldown has been increased by 40%, which means they'll do it almost half as less frequent. However, there's some tech that I learned about from a Yoda video today about chain pulling. So this I didn't know, and this is good to know for anyone else out there. If you have, let's say, 4 of the engorged crawlers, they'll never double stack the spit. They'll always just choose someone who doesn't have it. But once you go into 5 crawlers, that's when they'll start double stacking it.
Oh,
and so planning your cleanses and all that stuff, if you have them around, that's really important.
So what causes you to get 3 stacks of it? Because in the last dungeon, I ended up with 3 stacks of it. I was like, what the fuck? like
3. Based on this tech, I'll put it this way. Based on the tech, I'd say you have to have had at least 8 crawlers in that pool.
Is that the whole front
at the
room?
same time?
No,
because
because the room where the bosses fought, there are probably 8 in that room alone, let alone if you like chained anyone. So I don't know. Anyways, Avanox, which is the first boss, the crawler healths have been reduced by 20%. That's big, huge. DPS back on the boss, and then Onslaught, periodic damage, which is like the ticking damage.
That ticking damage during Onslaught, but like just the ticking damage, like if you don't get hit by the webs, is crazy. It's hard.
Well,
I feel like it hits harder than the shrill
it is because they nerfed that. They nerfed that this season.
Yeah, but it feels inappropriate, so I'm glad they're dialing it back.
No, I think this is the more fair damage profile of the boss. And we'll talk more about this when we go back to dungeons.
I just hate when there's like a periodic damage and a thing you need to avoid. It's like it seems a little because I could just turtle and then also not avoid both. You know what I mean? Like
they're reducing the crawler damage because I feel like especially if you had like a tank that wasn't kind of doing it optimally, people having to go kill the ads and it took them forever, then come back, you had almost no damage on the boss. So
what I'm worried about though is now the dot classes, like my warlock would sit there and say like, oh, no point in putting dots on. I'll just keep DPSing the boss. More
but that might be better.
That that Noobzek, the Eye of the Swarm, that I don't know if you guys noticed on that particular boss, not when you get the dot on you, but if you accidentally walk in one of the circles, the tick you get on you is actually kind of brutal. I was hoping they would maybe touch that. But like you don't even like by the time you register, oh, I have that on me, you're dead. Like
Yeah. No, I was shocked. I mean, I was trying to predict the nerfs all week, and I knew I got the dungeons right. I mean, anybody could have, right? But I thought the main fix they're gonna do in Ara Kara was the locust swarm. I feel like the locust swarm is so fucking brutal on those big beetle ads.
Oh yeah,
they didn't touch it. So
but I think again, it's fairly brutal, right? Like it's
if I don't
die from it, you just need to make sure that you're not getting any additional hits during it.
You will die.
Yeah,
from
and
it.
Well, you will, 'cause you have no stamina.
I
was about to say,
will, yeah.
not to put it on anyone in particular, but that is kind of a thing where the healer just needs to know about it
Yeah.
and be ready to do their big heals.
Yeah.
And not allowing any other kicks to go, or
But also,
Yeah.
it's a mob that puts DR on everything, and it's like it takes painfully long to get it down sometimes because people aren't focusing it because it's normally
Mhm.
pulled with a big pack.
yeah.
So
So that
it's
sounds
very
like a player problem.
frustrating. For me, I found that like the new change to be the most frustrating change to the dungeon. I think the spider shit is like pug killer type stuff, but in a group, it's not too much of a problem.
Yeah.
Wait, what's
unless
spider
you
shit?
take it too close. This first boss, the spider boss.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well,
Ab-
remember
abs
it was a pug killer in high keys in season 1.
It was, and I feel like it's definitely a pug killer, but I feel like it's still it was kind of a fair boss. I think this tuning is good, but I don't think it was a pug killer because it was overtuned. I think it was a pug killer because you have to do the mechanics.
I would
All the-
definitely like to see that one dot get nerfed a little bit, but I also think you got to stand in the circle, so it technically is your fault if it gets put on you because you should
Well, yeah,
be able
you
to
can
avoid it.
move.
Occasionally, you do just kind of take your eyes off yourself for a second. Maybe you're trying to dodge the swirls on the ground, or you're
I
trying to
don't.
kick the ad or whatever, and then you're like,
Yep.
oh shit, I stood in that. But
Yeah.
To be
You know
fair,
what
you have a
need?
good warning because you have an arrow above your head for like 3 seconds before it
No,
goes
no, no,
off.
not that
you.
one, not that one.
And Anubis.
No, so
yeah,
so
there's
yeah, go on.
There's a different one.
so you get the dot on you, and
Mhm.
then the circle goes off of you after a few seconds.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, you just
if
move.
you accidentally stand in that circle for like any period of time, you get an additional dot put on you that like ticks
Oh.
like your whole health in like 3 ticks. And by the time like you register it's on you, you're like if someone hasn't done something to save you or you don't like quickly hit
Well,
like a
hold on.
defensive or something.
That's not
He
this
is
though.
talking about what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have the storm. I have the swarm is his
No,
big
no,
circle.
he was saying he wishes that was nerfed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we moved on. What
Yeah,
you
we-
need, IO, though, is scrap in your key to tell you exactly what to do.
That's
I
true.
can do that.
I mean,
2 steps
I'll tell
back,
you
2
get out
steps
of
to the
that.
left, and then you'll be out in the clear.
Yeah. I'll tell you to get out of it. You know?
I need
If
a-
that's what I
every
sound
lost
like when we're
scrap.
doing keys, tell me and I'll stop. I'll swear to God, Jesus.
We did. We used to make fun of you all the time. We had a whole
Yeah.
phrase for it.
No, I
We called
know,
it backseat franking.
but again, all I was doing was saying like, hey, you need to make sure that this, like, I would actually tell tech, not like, hey, if you taunt this fucking target, it'll come over.
Lithian was
a-
the person you backseat franked, so I'll let him speak
No, but
for
I
it.
backseat franked tech all the time too. But that's
Well, technically
because
needed it.
yeah, exactly.
I don't
And in
think
fairness,
Lithian always did.
No, not always, but he did sometimes, and that's what happens when you need.
Let's
something.
let Lithian speak on that. Lithian, do you think you were excessively franked?
But he wasn't there for last night. I'm not saying he wasn't.
Well, I wasn't.
excessively
Yeah, I
franked.
wasn't. Whoops, I wasn't there for last night. I missed out on whatever
Yeah,
happened, so
yeah.
I have no idea.
Never happened. We timed
I'm not-
14s
I'm
under
not-
my.
Well, that's
Oh
you
my
know?
God.
And I was,
Under my
I was
leadership.
excited.
There was
Yeah.
another Frank was telling Haywire to dispel on the Dragon Boss, and
Yes,
Haywire eventually
Jesus.
was like, "I got it, I
he
got
wasn't
it.
dispelling!
Let me worry
Well,
about it. Let me
to
worry
be
about
fair-
it."
Oh no! Oh
be fair,
no!
I was crashing out on the Dragon Boss, and I think I was stressing everyone out because I was like, it's done, it's over. Like
no.
every time an ad
Io.
would get loose.
It's just like the boss in Siege of Borealis, right? Where you have the 2 dots go out. You have to
Yeah.
dispel one immediately, right? Now, granted, if it was like an 11 or 10, we'd have the affix that's really fucking annoying this week because everything needs dispelling. But we were doing what, a 13 or whatever
It
it
was
was?
14.
14, right? And it's just like I'm like just trying to be his like DBM of saying like dispel now, right? And again,
It's on cooldown.
but it shouldn't have been. That's all I'm saying.
Oh
Anyway.
shit! Well, I'm just saying that the tensions are already high. Like Zesty, who's very quiet, very soft spoken. At the end of that, he was like, "Jesus, you guys stressed me out."
You
Hold on,
were
hold on,
stressing
hold
him out
on.
because
I
you were
know.
stressing
I
us out.
I was so stressed that it was exploding out of me in
Okay.
panic
Did you
shouts.
stream? Did you stream any?
No,
of
I
this?
meant to, but again,
No.
Ah.
Listen,
So-
there'll be
Sure.
more. There'll be more.
Well, I know there's going to be more, but
Yeah.
I'm sad I missed out.
I just want to talk about why Ara Kara is the bane of my existence right now, real quick.
Mm.
I think it's criminal that they did the right tuning for this dungeon when they brought it back in season 3, and one of the biggest things they did with which a tuning change that I guess no one's paying attention to is the jabbers that are the little flying things at the start of the dungeon. they apply a bleeding dot whenever they jab at someone. And it is very dangerous when you get in that as you're running into the first mini boss and all the tanks don't fucking pay attention to it and wonder why the healer dies on the way to the fucking mini boss, which then in turn wipes everyone else because there's no one around to heal the bleed. And it's like, it's not that they buffed it, which makes damage to heal. It's that no tank is paying, most tanks are paying no attention to this. And therefore sitting there going like, why the fuck are you all dying? This is so stupid, and then abandons immediately. And I just think that's like criminal that they not stealth buffed it, but they buffed it and no one's paying attention to it. And now there's this huge pug problem.
I do think that later in the week, I've noticed people are splitting that poll up.
Yeah.
Like pretty consistently. So I think people are taking note that you can't just roll into the mini boss anymore. Yeah. So
well, you can, but like you just have to be super aware of that bleed, right?
Well, I always ask at the beginning of an Ara Kara, because I'm normally the heroism. I'm like, what's the plan for the first pool? Are we splitting it? Are we going to the mini? Because you also don't want to think that the tank is stopping at the bridge and then they keep going to the mini because then you're getting aggro and stuff. So you really need to ask at the beginning, hey, man, what's the plan? And if somebody says we're going all the way to the mini and doing hero, then I might say, are you sure we should do that?
I stop at the I tried. I'll stop on the bridge or I'll stop at the caster. I won't go further than that.
Yeah, I like at the bridge, you know, you get all that garbage, those little bleeding guys, kill them, and then you pull the casters in and pop hero on the mini boss. I think that's fine. It's pretty safe if you can get 3 kicks between your 5 people, which is not always.
The problem is people want as much as they can get if they're gonna pop hero, so they pull everything to the mini boss and then the healer dies.
My advice would be it's fine. Just march to it. Don't run to it. March to it. You get the bridge, and then once everything's like collected and everything's in position, then you slowly march forward towards the mini boss and you can DPS as you go.
Popping hero at the beginning is not because you get a huge value out of hero. It's just because you need to get it on cooldown so you can get it in the right spots later. So I would say if you even just pop it on the mini boss. Yeah, but if you even just pop it on like the mini boss and the 2 casters, it's like better than not using it at all. So
it's like the kind of content we're missing is I feel like that's that's a very like pull and a lot of people doing like hierarchies and like if you watch a high group do it, it looks very easy. And they just like run past everything
defenses perfectly.
Right. And if you watch like, you know, like a group in a lower key try to do it, it goes awry. It'd be nice if there was like a tank or someone that could like put out like a video that was like, hey, here's how this pull is done. Here's like the logistics of it. If you have this comp, you might not want to try it. It'd be interesting to see if there's any kind of content like that.
Well, there was. It was Keystone Kindergarten shorts. To which
any other kind of content.
To which I warned them that the jabbing shit's gonna hurt a lot more now. Don't fucking pull crazy.
True.
No, I mean the truth is that even if people were putting out videos like that, you know, like the Yodas and the Dorkies and all that, people don't generally even at the high levels, sometimes it feels like they don't pay that kind of attention to it. They just watch what they do on Twitch and then say, I'm gonna do the same, and not like understand the problem there. But anyways, let's not go down that rabbit hole right now. Also, Atonement. So, Scrap, you said this one's going to be also nerfed?
Yeah, I can't really read that, but they're changing. I said all week the count is excessive. The timer's so tight. It's already a hard fucking key. There's so much bullshit that can happen. It's easy to butt pull.
Well, so
and then
what
on top of it,
they removed some of the obliterators and collectors near the shards. So now we won't have like all these interrupts to worry about around the shard, which already hurts.
Yes, thank you.
They reduced the density inside the courtyard before Echelon, so that means like stealthing and all that stuff should be a little more forgiving, and sneaking by patrols and stuff. The requirements for enemy forces have been dropped by 10%, which I think on its own would be kind of enough, but then they also, these Stormlord Slashers, which are the gargoyles that turn to stone, have had their value increased by 50%, which... Honestly, I like those in my pulls because while they throw me around like an asshole, they're not that bad to tank. So it'll be nice to know that those are going to be more value. We don't know what it'll look like until tomorrow, what the MDTs and all that stuff will tell us the routes are, but I think this will be a huge improvement.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if this might be too much because it's not like it wasn't doable. It was just a little too, like 10% feels like a lot.
This right here is where I feel like it was actually the most important. Yes, this is like huge quality of life, right?
Yeah.
But this is where people were dying on the high keys because, I mean, hell, look at what I did when we were doing our 11, right? I pulled I pulled the two casters,
Oh my gosh!
and
you
then
was
pulled
psychotic.
everything.
well,
No,
yeah,
no,
again,
you
because
pulled everything.
because in Shadowlands they weren't that dangerous, but in this they are, and that's
Yeah.
fine. Granted, in Shadowlands we didn't even push that high, and so you know, I just didn't know how dangerous it's going to be until I know. But it's also, you know, how many butt pulls have you had where someone accidentally gets this and that?
Yeah, so that's the other thing is that this dungeon's already hard, and then you have these little mobs that can pull the gargoyles too, which is always happening because people aren't looking out for them. And then it's also things are close, you can butt pull. Like this dungeon is just like very brutal to time. So I'm glad that they're quickly saying we got to make a big change. This is not a small change. Like pulling out mobs, 10% reduction. I'm hoping it doesn't go too far and suddenly this one's a free one. I don't think it will be because there's hard mechanics throughout.
Well, here, let's look
But,
at the.
So real quick on I'm on 3chess.io. So it looks like as of right now on there, the slashes are 1.93%. So all of them on the map, it looks like I might be missing one, but it looks like they're about 15% altogether if you were to pull like a few of them, like almost all of them. So they could probably make up like a few, like a pack here or there if you pull
Wait,
like
so 15% if you pull all of them, including
if
gotta
you
be
pull
more
one,
there's
two,
more than
three,
seven,
four,
right?
five,
Total.
6, 7. There's 8 of them.
7. Okay.
So
There's more than
that's before
8
the buffs, I think. So
Well, yeah, but that means it would be a 7-ish% swing on. But you know, no one's pulling all 8.
I'm
But
not.
you can't.
I'm
You
not
have
pulling
to.
them.
You have to walk by so
I-
much stuff to like do. Like
I
there's no
pull
way.
usually 3 to 4 of them. So if you're saying it's
I don't
15%
think- I
now,
think there
it'd
are-
be 7.5 plus another 3. So it's a 3% swing, which honestly is pretty big deal considering that they're not changing the route on that, and take 10% off on top of that. You know.
They're avoided because they're slow for the value, so that they address that, and the count is good. I mean, honestly, I feel like in Shadowlands you could ignore the gargoyles completely because if you were a vent there, you could actually use them for a buff, and them just being completely horrible experience in the key, and then they're all over the place and easy to pull by accident. It's like,
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
I
they
mean,
changed.
I'll wait and see. The problem
They're
with halls is you don't want to be short percent at the end because it's
Yeah.
such a pain to go all the way back. Whereas like Floodgate, if you're short percent, it's not terrible. It's not the
So,
worst thing.
some quick math, and I could be wrong depending on how I did it, but the 1.93% plus a 0.97, which would be the 50% increase, is about 2.9. So you're getting about 3% on those now almost for each
That
one.
seems fair because of how long they take. Like, fuck, they take a really long time to kill. So what are we looking at here, Frank?
Sorry, I was just pulling to see what the relative data from last season was. But for 2 things. One, Ara Kara and Halls of Atonement are the outliers. Now, Flood seems to have a high fail rate, but I think that's just
I'm
because.
surprised why.
Well, and I think it's just because people are like fucking around and finding out with some of the mobs that they just, I don't know,
Guess
but, like,
so.
maybe they're
No,
new to.
These,
Floodgate.
these are failed and completed, right? Like
Yeah.
they're
Bro,
not. Yeah.
When I do pugs in Floodgate, they are so bad,
Yeah.
and it's such a pain. Even when I tank it, it's a painful experience right now. I don't know.
The
But
back half of Floodgate can be a mess sometimes.
Yeah, but more so than Priory?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
I
Can I-
don't think the back half. I think the back half is easy.
Well, if you're completing it, it's like there's so many times in Floodgate that I remember where like we've been totally on time and then it's just gone totally awry on that big pull before the
Or are you
last
comparing that
boss.
with like bubbles and shit?
Yeah, Bubbles is gone, dude.
After
It's
Bubbles.
so easy.
Yeah, maybe I'm still in my head with Bubbles,
Bubbles
but like
was a nightmare, but you
I
know.
feel like after Bubbles is easy for like just like, oh, we're gonna time it, and then one person gets knocked out by the by the frontal, and then the lightning bolts are getting out of control. Oh, somebody backed into and tab targeted the giant monster, which I'd never seen happen. We'll call it
The
Phoenix,
giant
like
monster.
you know that guy who's asleep in that section.
I've
Oh,
seen that
yeah.
happen before.
Phoenix pulled that
Yeah.
as a healer.
The
the
giant
healer-
monster.
He tab targeted it and like lightning bolted it as a healer.
Yeah, well.
Yeah.
So
So-
here's some interesting numbers, and I'll show you last week's because this is like
Mhm.
we almost saw a total of 1 million plus 10s alone.
Yeah, we gotta get our vaults going, dude.
Yeah, so I mean, this is interesting because again, this is like the most popular keys have been. We're at 2.3 million keys for this week alone, and I don't know how recent this data is. I guess maybe it just will compile at the end of the day. But anyways, like we're at a ton of keys being done. This is I think about 20% more than last season's, which we were talking about this last season, that the season started off really popular. So that's awesome, and I'm happy the game's doing really well, but it just also feels strange that maybe it's because we're doing higher keys than we normally would be this point into the season, but the pug scene has been really rough so far. You guys agree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I don't feel like the 10s have been too bad, but
maybe.
the at least like 11 plus has felt like a pretty rough.
I definitely think the 13 feels, compared to the 12, like not that bad, but like the pugs are much harder, but the 13 to 14 jump is steep. That's where I feel like the biggest drop off is right now that I've experienced, where like you can feel a big difference between 13 and 14.
Yeah,
But that's just mine.
I had a 3K tank that I brought for a 12 Ara Kara, and I was like, oh, I feel good. Like, this is going to be timed, right? But the fucker, like, we pulled, and he's just like, oh, my hotkeys are fucked up. And he just didn't stop to fix it. So every time we made a pull, 2 people were dying because he didn't have thread on anything. And
well,
I
mentioned
like, what
to
the
you,
fuck is going on with pugs?
So it's the tank privilege. Tanks are so sought after right now. I was rolling with Rigo, who's on his tank, and my score was like 2,500. I was trying to help him get his resilient 12, so I can't remember. But like I'm slamming. My score just sucks on my hunter because I haven't been playing it as much. So I was like, there's no way we're gonna get into these keys, like these 12s. I've maybe like done a 12 on my hunter, maybe 1, right? Like and we were getting it instantly because he was a tank. And I was like, what the fuck? So these tanks, they just get into a key, they brick it right away. Who cares? They get out, they get into a key right then again. So they don't care what they do to your key, you know?
It's not just the tanks though.
Yeah, as a tank, I care what I do to somebody's key. I feel bad about it, but like as a DPS on my Fury Warrior, like I've had Vengeance Demon Hunters jump in, do the first pull in Floodgate, and then it was over.
Yep.
Right. So I don't know.
It's like I've seen every key has, and you're usually that key that person in the keys you're doing with Patera, but every key I've had has had one person that's done like 20% less DPS than they should.
Yep.
Right.
Oh, your DPS is so low, dude.
That's Patera.
Patera.
I do between 6 and 7, but I'm normally on the low end compared to everybody else. And a 13, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's I guess at the end of the day, like I'm really happy that a lot of people are playing and a lot of people are enjoying it. But I just feel like even at the fact that more people are playing, it's not following the same trend of how many people I'm playing with that are donkeys. Like it's like 99% of people are bad. Where are the people that I used to play 10s with? And again, maybe it's because we're doing it early in the season, but I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a lot of players that are either just doing the raid right now, or maybe are going to push later once the turbo boost comes out. They're just filling their vault.
But they're doing it. The more keys than ever.
Yeah, it's interesting to see that like
the 10 range.
Yeah, but 11s and 12s are really popular. There's more. There's double people playing 11s than 9s. You know, so it's like they are pushing higher. I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know then.
They just want to get that resilient 12 and feel good about themselves, or they stop at 3K. Like a lot of people stop at 3K.
Sure,
and they get their mount.
Yeah, I kind of soft stop at 3K. Like I just want to get it first, and then I'm like way relaxed.
Yeah, and that's another thing too.
Someone
you got more people trying to get through. You got more people trying to get 3K, so maybe that's just why it seems like it, because you know that player, the type of player that is now in these keys is not, you know, what we would be used to, especially if you can compare it to War Within Season 1, where the 12s were like grossly overtuned, and
they
like,
were.
Yeah,
we were struggling in 12s, you know,
dude. Even like 14,
even at the
even like 13. 14s at the end of War Within Season 1 were still just like hard as hell. I'm happy they went back on that, but
I like this better. I especially like the resilient thing.
So I was gonna ask,
amazing.
like I thought, if you had asked me at the start of the season, I'd be like, I don't think I actually ended up using resilient that much, like in the sense of like if someone fucked my key, I'd just be like, it's okay, don't worry about it. And granted, we did a lot of running together where we were pushing, and everything else I was just doing 10s for vault, but I am very curious to see how the resilient key system helps us on our wheel characters. Because Lipton, you've talked about how you don't ever get accepted in the keys, but the truth is, like, just building my own key is where I got almost all my score. And I'm hoping that will be a huge boon. And Scrap, you've already got it. Have you done
I've got resilient 13s right now. So I mean, since I'm in maintenance mode, what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna have a 13. I'm gonna hit it till I time it, and then I'll have a 14, and I'll try it. Why not? Like
gonna
I'm just gonna
get,
fill my vault on 13. So
I think I'm gonna get 3,020, and then so what happens for folks who don't know is as soon as you get a higher score, you go into Discord and you use the
Yeah.
wheel command and you show everybody. You're like, hey, this is me flexing my score.
yeah.
Scrap used to do it like right after a key and then be like, why isn't this updated?
Well, I haven't
So-
had to because you guys are flexing my score for me. You like, you know. See, did I get 3K? No, okay, not yet.
Oh my
Like-
gosh.
No, he was
I-
just
I-
testing it, Scrap.
Yeah,
Right, he was
I
testing
do,
it.
I do a lot of testing. But
Of course.
I'm gonna get like 3,020 and then hit that wheel command and then see what happens.
So
within an hour, she'll have a new key.
Yeah, I will.
know.
not to get too far off topic, but if we do
What topic
like
are we
a
on?
like a team like a team thing next season, can we please have the Scrap Mistweaver arc?
Oh God.
I'm not healing shit.
No.
No,
If let's say I win this million gold, like hypothetically, I'm definitely gonna play the next game because I'm gonna have so much money. Why not? But I really do think that if I had gotten a character I didn't enjoy immediately, I wouldn't be playing at all because it's just
You would love
100K.
Mistweaver, I
Dude.
think. You would love Mistweaver.
Maybe I don't know if I like healing.
I thought I was gonna hate Fury Warrior, and
I told you.
And look at this. I'm having so much fun.
Yep.
But if we do
Okay.
it next, if we do
Let's
if
not
we
go
do it
on the
next
wheel again.
season, no, I
Back to the
I
wheel.
want to. Well, we'll sort out the rules for next.
Yeah.
next,
We have plenty of time, and anyone that's watching that has really good ideas for a game like that, put them in the comments. We'd love to read it.
yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay, while we're on the subject of the dungeons, we can go on ahead and do our tier list for our favorite dungeons of the season so far. I think
Yay.
this is going to be significantly more different than what I anticipated it was going to be at the start of the season.
More
But I'm
different.
curious
Agreed.
to see what you guys think too. So let's start
Well,
with.
Can we clarify what are the parameters for, what gets a good score and what gets a bad score? This is not the easiest.
Yeah,
No,
how
no,
are we taking bugs into account?
He said favorite. He
Because
said
that's gonna-
favorite.
No, this
gonna-
is about if you see this key pop up in your keystone,
bag?
you go, oh yeah, or fuck no, right? Like this is
Okay.
Oh.
whether it be because you enjoy it, whether because it's easy, that's fine. They're all in the same category. It's just I'm excited about this one. I'm not excited about this one.
Okay, this is a pure opinion taking in all factors.
Yes, we will start with
Yeah.
Echo
Do I
Dome.
like it?
I will say
EcoDome
too.
I like-
S.
Yeah,
No,
S, yeah.
No S. It's no Tazavesh.
What do you mean no
Shut your
S?
mouth. It's no
No,
Tazavesh.
Okay,
but
hold
I
on,
like
Not even
let
EcoDome.
Lethean start.
I like EcoDome because it's an easy time key and the bosses are kind of fun. They're kind of fun.
Okay.
I enjoy them.
You seem to agree with that.
Yeah, I give it S as well. There's nothing I really think of that really makes me hate it. Like I started doing it over 10 this week, and I will say there is those couple trash packs that put the pools on the ground. Those smack, those hit really hard. But other than like that, from just like a healer perspective, it's really fun. There's not a lot of. There are kicks, but they're manageable, and I think it's one of those dungeons where everyone has something they can do to. Everyone kind of has a job in it, so it makes it fun, and all the
Okay.
bosses are fun too. So yeah, I'm down to put that in S or A.
Scrap YA.
Well, I'm just thinking about the dungeons that are coming later. In
It's not
some
Tazavesh.
dungeons,
Scrap. They can
Are
all be S
my-
if you love them. It doesn't
Hold on,
matter. It's not
no.
like you've got a quota.
some dungeons are my favorite of all time, and I think of EcoDome and I think of like Gambit or Streets, and it's not in the
No.
same category. It's an enjoyable key. It's fast. It feels really like a good pace. Nothing is far apart. Like none of the runbacks are ever bad. I've seen a lot of variants in routes, which is fun. People try and do things. I fucking hate the middle packs, like you were talking about with the circles on the ground.
Yeah.
Not because of the circles on the ground, because they're jumping around and they're always leaving with my explosive
those are
shot, and
annoying
then
too, yeah.
that like whiffs my explosive shot, like because they need to.
I think that's
be
great.
around them. It's so annoying, and it also like as someone who has to be very directional, like as a survival hunter, like I need to do these cones, and so I have to like pick a mob that's in the right spot, and then it leaves, then I'm like gotta move. I hate that.
I have to hear you cry about it.
And I will complain about it the entire time. Bosses are great. Last boss, fantastic. I think it's really fun and quick. It's got to be A though. It's A. It's not.
No,
It doesn't
no,
have.
no.
It doesn't have the flash. It doesn't have the drama. It's it's just not an S. It doesn't have the full package.
All right,
Doesn't
Frank,
have the
Frank,
music.
what do you think, Frank? What do you
I
think?
think it's an A because I think it's criminal, all the jumping around that the
Oh,
mobs do.
criminal! All
The
right,
you're
fine.
with the
mobs
same
jumping
dad.
around are
I'm fine with
so fucking. It's like,
If-
go on, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say if I do have any knock about it, like Scrap was saying, it's good and it's fun. There's nothing about it that like would make me think back to it or like really memorable about it.
It's not memorable.
It's just a simple, easy, fun dungeon with some fun bosses. So
Here's the,
I'm down to have it an A.
I would have moved it to S, except for the fact that when they do jump, for some reason they just sit out there for like 3 seconds and then come back.
Mhm.
It's
Oh,
like
they-
fuck
they have
you.
to-
If you're gonna
they have
do
to
it,
jump
do it
out.
and get back in here. You know.
No. They gotta jump out, cast something, maybe do a line on the ground.
Yeah, and then when
It's
they
fine.
run through, they like run through their line and they go, "Oh, what happened?" And then they're like, "Oh, I better get back in there." And then now they're running back in there.
Yeah.
By the time that one comes back in, the next one goes out. It's like they're never grouped together. It's horrible.
All right. Operation Floodgate, the other dungeon that was added during this expansion. How are you guys feeling?
I love
Mm.
Floodgate.
Oh, yeah, Floodgate's great.
I think it's
Um,
A.
I think we gave it S. Did we give it S or A last season?
Well, when you compare it to like Stone Vault and shit, obviously it's like an S or A, but like I feel like you got some heavy hits here, so
I give it an A at the
It's-
highest.
A
One's
below
an-
Echo.
This
No,
one's an
below
S for
below
me,
Echo.
but it
Really?
sounds like A is gonna beat it.
Why do you like it?
I love it. I think everything about it's perfect.
yeah, I
the
love it.
bosses
I
are
love it. Yeah,
great.
it's great.
The trash is great. The routing allows for whatever you
Routing's
want to do.
fun.
I think this is like an example of maybe not necessarily my most favorite dungeon of all time, but this is an example of an S tier dungeon where
It's up
like
there.
what is the flaw to it? They took the one flaw, bubbles, and they made a joke out of it. They fucking memed
My-
it.
Yeah.
Oh my!
I'll tell you what the
gosh.
flaw is. The flaw is I'm sick of her. I did it last season. I'm getting tired of Floodgate. You said like
Okay.
what I see it if it's in my bag and I'm excited about it.
Well, yeah, that's
I'm
what I was
not
gonna
getting excited
ask
about
is,
Floodgate.
I'm not excited
Are
about
we
Floodgate.
taking into account to like the fact that we played these last seasons? Because yeah, I could see you putting like Floodgate or Priory in like an A at that point, but I still feel like in terms of the dungeon itself, it's definitely like Frank
just
said, one of the
yeah.
best. It's an
Just like
S
a
and it's an
well-
S.
If I were
rounded,
to
perfect
gauge the
dungeon.
dungeon itself, like by the merits of is it an S tier dungeon, I think it is. But am
There
I
you go.
excited to see it
Well,
in my hold on?
Look at Dano.
Am I excited to see it in my bag this season? No. I think I'm more
vote
excited to
A.
see the newer ones. A minus below Echo.
A
'cause I'd rather
minus,
have
yeah.
Echo.
I owe you the tiebreaker.
I mean, I would say S, but if
It's
they
better than
wanna,
Echo.
if they want to say like A better than Echo. Sorry. Yeah, I would say it's better than Echo.
All right, I'm overriding it.
Wow. Okay. I accept. I
think
Floodgate.
your recency bias is unfair. Because
Recency bias.
yeah.
That's a new bias.
Hold on.
Yeah.
You said,
I-
am I excited to see it?
yeah,
I
No.
will
and you
say-
should. And what I'd say is you should be shut up. Okay.
Sorry,
anyways.
River.
I will not.
I know they're not gonna maybe do the mega dungeons anymore, but in season 3 of Midnight, I hope that they do more dungeons because I do think there is some fatigue having the dungeons come back from
Dude.
season 2. I know we voted for them, and obviously they're great, so we're not going to complain about it. But
I
think it is
heard
nice having them.
they were bringing Plaguefall back.
Oh my God. Where did you hear that?
Don't please don't. I don't.
Wait, is it?
Don't.
Have they talked
If there
about
was any merit to it, I'd say sure. But you're just twisting her into a
spreading
pretzel.
lies? So wait, but I'm concerned. Did they say they're not doing mega dungeons anymore? I know we didn't get one for War Within.
They
So
have- Sorry, go on.
they haven't explicitly said it, but
Oh, okay.
wouldn't be surprised if they go this route where they introduce a new dungeon every season.
I want
Next
that and
dungeon.
also a mega dungeon. Is that greedy?
Next one.
Okay.
What's the next one?
We'll
Okay,
take the
next
other
one.
one that's returning from season 2 Priory.
That's a B.
B. Too many kicks. They said at the
Well-
beginning of War Within they're gonna do less kick dungeons, and then this asshole dungeon pisses me off.
They said that in like the middle of the War Within. They didn't say that at the beginning.
Well, they failed in the middle also, so like
Well,
it's still there.
when I
Well,
tank this, it's a lot of fun to tank because I don't know, I enjoy tanking it for whatever reason, but
Yeah,
as a
it's an S.
DPS, I don't have a lot of fun.
It's an S for me. I like it.
Well, let me say it's a great dungeon. It's
Yep.
really
Yeah,
good,
it's
but
not terrible.
Oh my
if
god.
I gotta measure it against all the others,
The amount of times it's like, oh, it's a great dungeon, be an S, except it's a B. Like,
here's the
No,
thing.
I vote B. I vote B.
Because I saw it
B.
last week. I hate ass.
yeah,
No.
yeah.
Here's the truth. If we had every dungeon on the planet on this thing,
I'm gonna be
I would
100%
probably
honest with you.
put-
I would put almost all these in S except for Halls of Atonement and Ara Kara. Like,
Yeah,
I would.
see, I
It's
kind
just
of
a great
agree.
season.
I kind of agree that if we're measuring these against all dungeons, that a lot of these would be S tier, but we're not. I'm measuring them on a weighted scale, and so it's a B. It's got to be below Echo for sure.
What do you think, Frank? How do you feel about this one?
I would have put it here, except for the change to the first boss. Blech.
Hate
No
it.
thanks.
I hate the first
Oh, the change.
I
of the
did
first boss.
hate that change, especially as a melee healer, but I have found that people that kind of play more stacked or close, it's manageable.
Yeah,
You
no,
just
it's
gotta
not. It's
kinda-
not. Yeah,
manageable. It's just
that's-
annoying.
I
It's not
mean,
It's
fun.
just yeah, it's unfun. Is my problem.
Unfun.
I hope they
Yeah.
find a way to make it the dungeon itself. Like I like that the last season was left. This season it seems like routes better. I hope they can find a way to make it in the future, if they ever bring it back, a way to be like, okay, can we do a specific one depending on what we want to do, instead of like having to pick one that's quicker for whatever reason.
I
In
think
fairness,
left is still
Go on.
viable. Like
Yeah,
I've
last
done
season's
some
route's still
playthroughs building
viable. Yeah.
left,
Oh yeah.
so
You can go whatever.
Yeah. I've seen both.
I don't know. The first boss though, as a tank in the last season, I thought it was fine.
But I like the one last thing on this dungeon is I also like the just kind of the flavor and the story of it. Just got a lot of cool things going on. You got the lieutenants coming out and
Looks
they're like
gorgeous.
chainmail.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
it's a cool
Yeah,
dungeon. Visually, it's awesome.
I definitely think this should be higher ranked overall, but the truth is, that changed the first bosses.
We can put it into B. Yeah.
Criminal.
B plus for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely like in here.
Yeah.
You know. All right.
Yeah, it's up there.
Let's talk about Bug City, Dawnbreaker. Now, can I tell you a bug that I had today?
Yeah, let's have it.
So I went to the first boat where you detonate the shit, and it's a 4-pack pull. 2 of the mobs, literally, we're just sitting there fighting them, and all of a sudden they just start drifting away like they're balloons. They just. I've
No way.
never seen that bug before.
Never seen that.
They're just like, again, it was like I wish I'd recorded it because it was like in slow motion. I'm just like, whoa, where are they going?
Come back.
They're
They
leaving.
left. We couldn't detonate the bomb because all of us were in combat and someone had used their meld already. And so we just had to sit there and we were trying to figure out how do we make this work before we like actually officially abandon it. And then out of
That's a weird
nowhere, they just both pop up and go, huzzah, and start attacking us again.
Did you
So-
guys time it?
No, for other
damn.
reasons though. The tank was a fucking moron. But
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
gamer words.
he went in, you know the second general that you like do at the house?
Yeah.
He took the general inside the house.
Huh.
Never seen that done
What?
before.
I didn't even know you could go
Never.
in the house.
Never have seen
I've
that
never
done
been in
before.
there. I
I
should
didn't
try
know
it out.
the inside
He
was
line of
accessible.
sighted everyone, and we're all like, "Wait, what is he doing?" And we were like trying to run in, but he's like, I wouldn't want to say he was running up the stairs or anything, but he was just like, "Where are you, dude?" So
I
I
feel
think
like
this is
people are
it's a
trying-
D for Dawnbreaker.
No. You can't put it at a D.
I
mean, I
think
can.
Dawnbreaker
I want to actually, I want
is-
2 scores from you. I want Bugs score and if
Oh,
you were to
D-
say it's
D.
perfect.
I was
D.
gonna say Dawnbreaker is one of my favorites from this expansion, and I personally would put it in no lower than like A. But personally I'd give it an S overall. I'd put it in no lower than A, but if people wanted to put it in a specific tier because of bugs specifically, you know, I've heard more than enough people's complaints. I'm down to do that if anyone wants to.
B for Bugs.
Visually, it's fantastic. Variety,
Yeah.
it's fantastic.
Yeah, like I've
for
seen like
bug.
3 or 4 different routes this season, and they're all good and viable in their own
If-
ways.
I saw
It's
such a
great.
cool one earlier. It
If
was
my
awesome.
friend Haywire was here, he'd also say D.
Dude, when we have Haywire healing it, he bitches every pull. He's like, I
Yeah.
hate this dungeon. Every single
Well, it's
pull.
because
is
he thinks
crazy.
it's hard to heal.
It is hard to heal, but also because of bugs.
I mean, I don't
too.
know about it. That
It is
I don't
hard,
heal.
tougher to heal, but I like it because there's not a lot of opportunities in the game now, especially with with people being able to kick stuff or just the defensive bloat to really be able to be like a good healer. It's fun to have those things where there's a lot of damage going out and you can be like, yeah, I used my cooldown in the right spot and I took care of that, so
Yeah.
I like it. But
I think this is a stellar dungeon. I'm so not worried about the bugs to the point where I've only had it happen once or twice to break a key that I'm just, again, today's bug, I was just like amazed. I was like, that's so amazing. Look at that. What's happening right now?
Okay,
It was like
that's a little bit.
awe-inspiring.
That's a little bit generous, I think.
never changed
Awe-inspiring.
Dawnbreaker.
Yeah, awe-inspiring is not the word.
I'm not gonna let my vote matter in this one. You guys can.
I
have
can't
this.
remember if I said this on the podcast, but I did say it to you, Frank, is that I was admiring Dawnbreaker when I was in it, and I was saying I'd rather they shoot for the moon and
Yeah.
fall short than not shoot for the moon. And they definitely were shooting for the moon on this dungeon. It's unbelievably unique. And the fact that there are so many various routes, even to like now. I just saw one I'd never seen before, and we timed a key with it. After fully wiping on the first boss, like, and I was like, wow, that route really made up a ton of time. It's got to go below Priory though, I think, unfortunately.
I think my favorite bug in Dawnbreaker, and I haven't seen it too much this season, but it was the one when you would kill the final boss, and while you were getting picked up by the boat, you
that
had
happened
the
to me.
debuff, and then you would die before getting back to the boat
Yep.
at the end of the dungeon.
That
I always
happened to
love
me
that
today.
one.
That happened to me today.
One.
Okay,
It's a
my
great
favorite
one.
bug is when Lithian couldn't go to a flight form, and he just plummeted off the boat. It was so funny.
It's
What a
not,
dungeon.
it's not funny. Not
It was
funny,
funny.
at all.
He was flying
what
off
was
the boat.
his
He's like, I
DBM
can't make
shouting at
travel
him that
form.
entire key?
Which one? Oh yeah,
Execute,
it was
execute.
fatality. Yeah, his
Oh
add-on was
my
broken.
gosh.
Anyways,
It wasn't
okay.
that.
All right, so that's the score for bugged Dawnbreaker. What if it wasn't bugged?
S.
Easily S.
Okay,
That's yeah, for
well,
sure.
we'll leave it at B then. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Let's talk the dungeons that have been nerfed. So let's try to factor in the changes they've made to the dungeons. Is that fair?
Can I start here?
Yeah, go
Yeah,
for
go
it.
ahead.
So for Ara Kara, in season 1, I love this dungeon, and now I'm starting to wonder if it was only because I know there was some changes to it, but also I wonder just because, like, you know, compared to like City of Threads or Stone Vault, was it just a breath of fresh air compared to those? This season, like I was saying, I think I would have given most of the dungeons S except for Halls of Atonement in this one, and this probably would have been like my lowest at like a B or a C just because of how it was. With the changes, hopefully, I think it would probably keep in like a B. I think that's where I'm going with, maybe like a B.
I wish they didn't jack with the percentages.
Yeah.
And that kind of messes up. I mean, it's fine. I have a route. It works most of the time. But I don't know. This is the key that I've whiffed in pugs the most outside of Halls of
Well,
Atonement.
you and everyone else.
And yeah, and it's like as soon as you get to that first boss, man, nobody knows what to do. Even when I tank, like I could tank it like right near the eggs, not super close, because as Scrap would tell you, you know, if you're too close,
If the
you're doing
legs-
it wrong.
I don't
if
want
the
to talk
legs
about
were
it.
touching the eggs.
They weren't, but that's neither here nor there.
But oh my god, I would
But
streamed.
Take
The
a picture with
DPS
your new
still-
Kia phone and tell me about it.
the DPS still don't go after the spiders. Drives me mad. But no, I don't know. I'm B on this, but you know,
But
even
above,
with the changes,
where do you put it in B between them?
Probably
or-
the bottom, but probably
I put it at the
rest of
end.
the three, yeah.
Really, I put it at the top of B. I like it more than Priory. I'm more excited to see it than Priory. I think it's a good
I'll
dungeon.
accept, but
I think the last boss is one of my favorites. It's very hectic and exciting.
oh my gosh, the last boss.
I put it the highest B is where I would put it, but that's just comparing.
All
it to
right,
the
put
other
it
ones.
behind
guys-
Priory
do you
before
guys-
Dawnbreaker.
Do you guys penalize it for its pug unfriendliness?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
I do because I've been pugging a lot.
I think the
on
optimal way to
both my
play it
characters.
is with your friends, you know, and so that's how I'm feeling about it personally.
I
judging
genuinely think
personally.
this is a great, like, the 3 bosses are all great in their own way.
Mhm.
And they're
They're
tight.
super engaging, right? Like there's no boring downtime for any of them.
Mhm.
And on top of that, like the trash is usually big, and that usually means for DPS that's fun and all that fun stuff. The only reason I'm gonna not put it in A over B is just because I think the pug unfriendliness is kind of a little of a problem. Only because I want to challenge Blizzard to say, like, hey, in the future, if you're gonna do these things like the spiders and all that stuff, you need to make sure that you're either telegraphing it better or making, like, forcing people to kind of like do the mechanics you want them to do, so that things like DBM and all that stuff aren't needed. Because like the fact that it's screaming at you when the Resilient or the Gossamer whatever barrage is about to come out, and people still are fucking putting them all over the goddamn floor, like they can't
Oh my
comprehend the
gosh.
idea that, like, hey, let's try to like minimize the space. And even in our groups that we're together, like I'm calling for everyone to stack and they're not. I don't know. I
That's
just
crap.
feel like there's some work to be
So-
done on
Well, I
making those
stack.
fights.
I agree with that. And a tip I have is there's this week aura pack I have. I think it's like Terathal's
Yeah, yeah.
season 3
Yeah,
week
yeah.
aura pack.
I have the same one. It's
And it
great.
puts a little red circle on your screen that'll show you the exact instant it's gonna hit the ground. And if there was something like that, I think it would be perfect, but if you don't have that, you're just kind of going based off the visual, which is not very telling.
That's
That
exactly
sounds like cheating.
exactly the same one I have, and that's why I'm challenging them to say they need to make it visually better. Because with that circle, if you just wait till it hits the 50% mark of the dial, you know you can stay still and stack 2 of them on top of each other and take half the space up, right? But no one fucking knows that because the game is not conveying it to you well enough, in my opinion. So anyways.
Yeah.
Halls of Atonement.
I like halls.
B.
I like halls too.
Actually,
yeah.
I like halls. I
like
enjoy
it.
it. I just hate the percent.
It's
with the
no, we're
changes,
factoring the changes.
with the
This doesn't-
changes, maybe it's higher. But
Yeah, this
yeah.
one I think would benefit from actually seeing them in play, but I would say I think before it was probably like a high B, lower A for me, but now I could see it being like the highest B in this particular tier that we have going on right now.
So when you were saying
But
like, you like
the
on.
pug unfriendliness is if that's something we're taking into account now, like that's a big thing. Like it seems like this is another one where pugs kind of fail together as opposed
So-
to playing with friends.
when you said earlier in Dawnbreaker that you feel like a healer gets to be a good healer, I feel that way
Oh,
about
yeah.
halls.
Oh, yeah.
That you get to be a good DPS because like I mean I think I got like 39 kicks in the one I eventually timed on my shaman. Like I took a screenshot of it. It's like just the management of like you really have to use like all your binds, all your binding type totems and your kicks and your stuns, and there's exciting packs. It's just, and it's so because of the timer pressure, it's exciting the whole time. Like I'm sitting forward in my chair and I'm like not breathing for like a good Halls of Atonement when you get a run going.
We're a couple runs where we're going into the second boss and maybe we're a little behind on pace. I'm not entirely sure, but the tank would pull like a pack and the gargoyle into that boss, and I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
And we somehow like did it, and it's just like that kind of franticness and that excitement, like that
Yep.
that is something I do think adds to it in terms of
the excitement of it being so front loaded, where
Yeah.
you're getting past, you still have 2 bosses left and you might have like 10 minutes and you're like, how the fuck I got to do all this trash in a mini boss and 2 bosses and 10 minutes. I mean, a lot, that's maybe too tight, but sometimes it happens, like, and you have to like hero on the mini boss, and it's very exciting. I have to give it an A. I really like it because I'm very Halls pilled. I did it so much. I would probably put it above Echo, but if I think just like the slickness of Echo compared to the slickness of
Didn't
it,
she
dude.
turn down Floodgate because she did it too much?
No, but I'm over a period of
Whole
time. I
season
was
worth.
enjoying.
Walk your way
I
out
felt
of
like
this corner.
so I felt like when I was doing Halls over and over, I was like tightening it up every time. You know, like, okay, we all died to this. I really need to keep an eye out for that this time. You know, I think that it's right behind EcoDome. I think it's a little dated compared to the way they design keys now, just like with all the kicks and stops and
A
stuff.
little dated. That's
I do think
tough.
it is, but it's great. I love it. It's gonna be an A for me.
What's the meta strat on that mini boss? Because I've seen people do a bunch of
Up arrow.
different things. I'm confused. Are we just trying to kill him as quickly as possible, or are we just
Yeah,
killing
just
the
kill
ads
him.
first?
No, you kill
You
him.
have to
In
out-
Kill him
Shadowlands,
faster
race
than he
him.
heals.
Yeah.
yeah, in Shadowlands you used to pick off all the ads, but I guess at some point they realized that if you kill it, then you don't have to kill the ads. Like you can
And-
get away with not killing the ads. if
No,
you
but
kill
the
Then
problem was
just
that
try
it
not
would
to let
take
the
as long as a
fixates hit
boss
you.
to kill.
the fixates don't hurt that bad. You can stun them. You can push them away.
But they definitely hurt.
They
But you
definitely
can
hurt.
kite them. You can stop them. I mean, but they're not going to kill you in one hit if they touch you. It takes like 4 or 5.
Well,
hits.
no, but when you have like 3 or 4 people that are
Yeah.
stuck in like a pew, you know, it's just
And
there's
they're
not
all-
some people
everyone's
do it in
being
like a
hit.
weird.
I definitely wouldn't do it at the pews, like because they take a long time to walk if you do it around the corner.
Yeah, that's what I
So-
was thinking. But yeah, I've seen some people do it like right in the pews. It's like, what are we doing?
No, don't do it in the pews.
I pull it around the corner.
Yeah,
Especially
around the
since he's
corner.
up at the altar to begin with. Why would you pull him back down?
Yeah,
Mhm.
right.
I'm not going to let Halls of Atonement into A territory for 2 reasons.
No.
One,
Uh-oh.
going back to my point about how the game needs to convey things better. Was it you, Scrap, that we were doing a Halls of Atonement and I got knocked away when I forgot that he
You not got
doesn't
knocked off the cliff,
right? Because like it doesn't
Oh
it
my
doesn't show
gosh.
you what, like, it's not conveying to the player what's about to happen, and all I have to rely on is a big
I
wings,
feel like that's-
and if I don't hear that because I'm listening to you scream at me
Yeah.
about taunting, Yada yada
Yeah,
yada.
that is it's a bit dated. Like the fact that there's guys that can knock you off the cliff and there's no guardrail there, like they wouldn't put that in a dungeon now, I don't
No,
think.
they would. They would. I'm okay with that. I just want them. What I want to know is why they decided that didn't need a visual cue to let the player
Yeah.
know you're about to get knocked away, right? Because you can move it.
Yeah.
Once he starts casting, you can turn it around and say, "Oops, sorry," and get it right.
I mean,
That one needs a visual.
to be fair, earlier today I got knocked around and in streets because I forgot.
Yeah.
Well,
I
that's
forgot
the
that
same
mob
from the same
knocked me
time.
around.
Like to also like in that the second boss in Dawnbreaker that has the knockback and you use like the lamppost to keep you tight.
Yeah.
That would be really good because sometimes even if you have your back against that, you still somehow get knocked past it. It would be nice to see like, okay, this is exactly where it's going and you can line it up every time for sure.
I'm a pro at the light post, dude.
Go on.
Oh, I was gonna say one funny thing about Halls of Atonement in particular was we were doing me, Scrap, Rigo, his buddy. We're doing one the other night, and the first boss, I don't remember exactly how it happened, but he definitely walked a circle on top of Scrap on accident. It was really funny.
No, he was he just like at the last possible second as the tank, he was just like, oh, I can stack it next to this thing, and he just moved on to me and killed me. It was like literally I can see where his mentally he was, where he was like,
well, now
oh, this would be a better
kill Scrap.
Well, well, I can see how mentally if he's thinking his thing of like, oh, I need to stack these really tight. This would be a better spot than where I am. But he literally leaped on top of me and killed me. I was like, why did you go to the place I was and kill me? That was a fun.
The second reason why I'm not letting go into A is because the third boss is abysmally fucking boring. It is so.
No, you pull trash into it.
What trash?
You pull the trash from the gargoyles, the third boss, right? Yeah. The healing one?
No.
Sorry. Where you bring the mobs to the canisters.
Yeah,
you can drag that trash right in front of it into the boss.
But that doesn't make it any more fun.
Props to Blizzard though. That boss was super overtuned on PTR, and they definitely did a good job.
It was overtuned in Shadowlands too.
The gargoyles also lost their bleed thing, thank Christ. So
yeah.
But again, that's not the point. They should have done that anyways. Okay.
Well, I guess we know where these are going.
S, both
D.
S.
Okay. What about
No.
Okay. In all seriousness, streets. The changes they've made. Keep in mind that they changed. You didn't see them, IO, did you? Like the original streets.
I didn't play original Tazavesh Streets Market, Mythic Plus, or like the Mega Dungeon. Yeah, and I've only seen the changes this season that I thought were good, like the change to the shields and the would they nerf the timer or something because it was too short. Yeah, so I thought those were good changes.
RP.
Yeah.
All right. So Scrap says S. What do you say, Io?
Don't
No, I'm trying to think if there's any reason why I wouldn't agree with it. Like I'm trying to think if there's anything I don't like, but I don't really nothing I don't really like about it. I do think it's good. My only knock about it would be if you have someone in the key that doesn't know, like if you have like a tank who maybe doesn't know the RP, that could be annoying. But other than that, like if assuming you have a good group or whatever, it's a fun key. I like all the bosses.
Lithium.
I'm probably gonna put them both in S because I enjoy them. But
I think I'm more Gambit tilt like slated over Streets, but
wait. You put Gambit over Streets?
Yeah.
I think I would too.
So okay. As far as Streets is concerned, I would have argued for it being an A because I feel like it is inferior to Gambit. We'll talk about that in a second. And there were some really egregious things, but they really kind of went hard on the changes. Most notably, the one where the Oasis, the
band boss,
boss. It honestly doesn't even feel like a boss anymore. It just feels like we're doing like one big trash mob.
Like a mini boss almost.
And the market itself, the changes they made, fucking crushes the tank, but it is a good change that they made.
Or it crushes the mage.
Yeah. And in general, like, I'm not thrilled that after the first boss, the trash kind of feels a little more sparse, where you're doing like 3 to 4 mobs instead of like 10 that you could do in Gambit, for example. But I also am going to give it the credit here for the fact that the hard mode is awesome this season. Like,
it is. It's really fun.
So we'll give him the S tier on that just for saying, hey, thanks for doing hard mode.
The fact that you can do 5 bosses and all of them are great is like that's awesome.
The last
I think only the band boss isn't, but now it's good enough.
The last boss, I do wish there was a way to like at least heal people when they're not in the same quadrant as you. I know that's part of the challenge, but that does make it a little hectic
pugs,
sometimes
it's
when
chaos,
everyone's
Gotta-
oh yeah,
gotta get there.
pugs in that boss is hectic. Like especially I've seen tanks that like overthink it, and I'll follow them because I'm like I'm just healing whatever. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna. The tank knows what they're doing, and I'll be like, wait, how did we end up here? Oh my god, what's going on?
I
So-
think
You
to
have
solve
the
that
worst
problem
brain farts
for
on
you,
that
IO,
boss.
would be that they don't put out the bleed right before he does the jump, right? Like
yeah,
he only does it like 10 seconds after a bomb goes off, so that way you know, or when after you walk through a thing, so you
That
know
being
there's no
said-
moving coming. You know.
Yeah, and that being said, I mean, other than that, there's not a whole lot of healing on the boss. The challenge is the going through the shapes. So I mean, at the end of the day, like if there's not a whole lot of damage, then it's not a huge deal. It's just the coordination sometimes is a little off, and you know that can get a little frantic.
All right. Well, what about Gambit? Why is it C tier? Scrap.
No, it's
Um,
not.
Gambit's great, dude. I love
Gambit's
Gambit.
my number
Gambit's
one.
great.
It's
Okay.
it's it's quick, it's tight, it has the big packs at the beginning, so you gotta have that for an S tier dungeon, right? You gotta have
I
some big
heard
pack.
I heard that Scrap can train you on how to do that dragon boss.
I can.
And yet, for those that were in Discord last night, who was the most
Yeah.
fucking frantic of them all was Scrap
I-
Claw.
I was really scared because the dungeon was
So-
going shockingly well, and then
God, I wish I was there.
yeah, it
I
was-
obviously don't have the trauma of doing the dragon when the tail actually hooked you, so that
Oh,
doesn't play into it
gosh.
for me. But I like that boss.
Well, okay.
Um,
Let's talk real quick about that. So for those who have seen it before its its current state, does this boss actually feel any easier now that they took
for the
arguably one of
DPS,
them?
yes, because where you used to be able to stand was like the sides, but you couldn't stand towards the front side of her because then you were in the breath. So you had to be like on her haunches and
On her what?
her haunches, like
her
Okay.
Colega?
no, like her hips, her
Jesus.
haunches. So it was like a little trickier because there was also like if the tank swung the boss around really fast,
Mm.
like you were doing last night, Frank, to get like one or two things, you would
Oops.
just kill 3 DPS in one swipe.
No,
right?
don't get
Just
me wrong.
swinging
Like that's
around.
obviously a problem. I agree with you. I'm just
Yeah.
saying, does it feel any easier? Like I'm
It
not.
does,
I'm
but
not
it's hard
timing
to
them any
say
better
that.
than I was before.
It's still really hard, but I think if you don't think it's easier, you don't remember how bad it was.
No,
Like,
but
I don't
remember
know
the
if you weren't
strat
playing
last
DPS.
time where you draw an X and that strat worked really well. In
Well,
the
that's
past.
because it avoided whipping her around. That's why you did the X, because
No,
it
I
was
kn-
like slow turns. But now you can whip her and go to the other end. It's much better. The X, you were coping on that X. It's all about the wall.
No, so the other
Wow.
thing I have a problem with is that I think if they're going to do that mechanic where they have the mobs jump down and having them split, is only setting up a disaster where either they want us to kill the mobs manually, right? Or they want us to figure out some fucking, again, think of this in pugs, some way to make sure that all the mobs are always hit by the breath. And I haven't seen any videos that are saying, oh, this is like the easy fix to killing this boss on, pugs or whatever. It's just such a unforgiving fight, even in our group scrap, that
Yeah.
I worry that that's going to be a thing that's a problem for us
Well,
in the future.
the skill, I talked about this the last time we were talking about this, I think on the podcast, is that like it's hitting on a very specific skill of moving your character the right way the entire
But-
time. And the hardest part about it is that everybody needs to do it.
No, but
Or
that's my
it
point
gets
though.
fucked up.
That's not it's not a skill that is.
But I feel like it's
It's not a
there's more.
taught skill, right? Like
No, that's why I think it's harder because like we're not used to having to move our characters in
no.
like such a tight formation with each other, like especially in a pug,
It is
That's my
one of those
point, though.
things where I
Yeah,
feel
no, I
like
agree. Is my
if-
point.
if you weren't familiar with it, you're definitely at a disadvantage because if you don't know the strategy to stand behind the dragon and to move as a group and like ever so slightly, then you're gonna be at a huge disadvantage. So that does have that knock against
The
it.
whole
but-
group
but that's
is at
my
the whole
point.
disadvantage.
Hold on.
One person doing it
So
wrong.
when you're on the right and the left side of the room, it's fine because the breath hits like 60% of the area that you needed to hit. But when you're in the
Once you
middle
get
of the
closer to
room,
the boat, yeah.
the
Once you get
cone
up
is
there.
not wide enough to get all 4 of them.
If you're tucked up
Unless-
against the wall, you are.
No, because even then, Scrap, you guys are running around like madmen. And then what happens is, like 2 of you go out to the left or right or whatever, and now they're not running in a cone towards the middle of the boss anymore.
Well,
and it's like
the solution.
such precision that is needed.
So
the
the
point
solution
where-
to that. Go on, sorry.
To the point where when we were talking about the hard mode, the strat is not even to fucking worry about the breath. It's just sit the boss on the boat. Every time they come down, burn the shit out of them and keep burning the boss afterwards.
Well, yeah, because hard mode, you can't kill the mobs with the breath the first time, so it doesn't make sense to kite them around while they have 20 stacks or whatever the fuck, because they're just going to whack somebody by accident and kill it. So, yes, you're right. Sitting at the front on hard mode makes sense because you're killing the mobs. But what we need to get better at, and is super easy solution to that, is that we need to rotate CCs and slows to keep them in the breath. But it's
You guys aren't
hard
gonna
because
do
you're
that.
moving.
You guys aren't going to do that.
No, we can't. We can do that. We can do that.
I want to be
You
clear
can, you're not
when she
gonna.
says that. It is.
Yeah.
I can't think of another single example of a boss in any of the game we've played where there's that much reliant on our coordination to be picture perfect
That is true. I get
than
that.
anywhere else. There's no other boss that requires that kind of gameplay.
I agree.
That's true.
And
I
it's
think
not even
I think
close. Like it's not even like there's like
Yeah.
what's the next closest boss that would be? It requires that kind of picture perfect placement.
Ooh.
Coordination wise.
Yeah.
The Floodgate boss, the third one where everybody goes left.
and look, you can do that
That's
without
easy.
saying a single word. You just always
Yeah.
move
Yeah.
left, right?
Yeah, yeah.
There is
we
nothing
figured it
like
out.
that for the dragon.
We've all agreed as an
So-
entire community that we will move
The
left. So you don't have to establish
only
it.
fight I could think of that comes close is the chain boss in Neltharis, because that's one where you, like you have to know like, okay, we're gonna put our chains, we're gonna break them one at a time. The tank's got to know where to run them, you know. So that's probably the only thing I could think of.
The one that I thought of was
yeah.
a tall Dazar, the last boss. The spiders.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah,
Altazar?
Right?
that's another
Oh,
one.
But
no,
even
no,
then-
yes. Ataldazar has this very similar thing of everybody kind of needs to be moving correctly.
But
Yeah.
even
And-
then, Scrap, you could tell a pug this is what we're gonna do, and
Yeah.
everyone understood it because it was like just like make a little choo-choo train. Everyone just keeps choo-chooing around, right?
Yeah.
But this doesn't have that clear cut. If we do this, it will be guaranteed it will be done right. We still
Yep.
don't have that, right?
Well, and also the other thing is that we noticed the other night is that if you make a mistake, there's not an easy way to recover it. Like you can't get back on the tracks.
Honestly, and that's why I love this fight, because it's basically it's perfect coordination until it gets chaotic, and that's when it gets
Yep.
real fun, because that's when like,
Yeah,
everything's
no,
going crazy.
It was
disagree.
I like blacked out the whole time because I was so it got so
I
out
would
of
be
control.
100% on the same page with you guys if there was a very clear cut do this and you succeed.
I get
So
that. Yeah,
what would your solution be?
So
Because I know what
my-
my nerf to it would be.
I will say this: one thing this fight has that a lot of other fights don't is it has a really cool looking dragon with a pirate hat, and I think
Yeah.
that just gives it a really points.
Yeah,
than
she's
we're
a
really
time
talking
captain.
about.
Yeah.
Captain Hooktail. Captain
Anyways.
Tail is
Hold
a
on.
hook.
Io, time captain Hooktail. She's
So-
the
Her
Her
captain
tail
of
is a
time.
hook.
I know.
So my solve
Our
for this
captain's
would
a
be this,
dragon?
right?
Go on.
It's that they all 4 mobs will spawn at the same point together. However,
Mhm.
they will spawn randomly on the beach, where they spawn, right? So that the tank never knows which way to point the boss based on where you are in the room.
That's worse.
Why?
What?
Why would it be worse? As long as
Because
the
the
tank
mobs
can
will be
point
loose.
No, because hold on. How is that worse, Scrap? If they're all running from one point to another and the other point is you, but they all start
I
in the
thought you
same
meant
spot.
I thought you meant they'd spawn in a line
No,
on the
no,
beach.
no,
like
no.
you
I'm
would-
saying they would all spawn like it'd be like a diamond shape of like 4 of them all
Mm.
spawning together. And they could still break apart because people aren't correctly positioned. To your
Mhm.
point, if as long as you stand behind our butt, we're always gonna be safe, kind of thing, right?
Mhm.
But at the same time, because it's randomly where they would spawn on that beach, the tank will
Mhm.
never know which way to position. So there will be some spinning around. But again, as long as you stay behind her and never cross this like 50% threshold of her, you will be safe from the breath as well. And it allows for, if you need to, because there's a oh shit moment and they spawn, you can stun them all together and everything's together and you can just look, let's just burn them really quick and then get back on track kind of thing.
I might be having trouble visualizing it, but I don't think that fixes the problem because you still have the fire coming down and stuff. And so if you're not moving in a coordinated direction, because you got to swing the boss around a bunch, like if I need to stand on her tail and you swing her all the way around, then I'm gonna be standing in a weird spot, and the fire's gonna be in a weird spot.
What
you know?
does her swinging around have anything to do with where you're standing?
Well, because the mobs are coming towards me, right? So
Yeah.
I need to be behind her.
If you are standing, let's say you got the mobs and then you, and there's a line drawn between you, right?
Mhm.
And as long as the boss is on that line, you will never have to worry about the breath, and now you never have to worry about her tail swipe, right? Because
Frank,
you are always
Frank.
behind her.
Let me tell you my solution
Oh,
because
no.
it's better.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
The mobs.
Let me tell you
are-
my solution.
The mobs are half as fast. That's it.
No.
So
That's it. It's perfect.
dragon strategy notwithstanding, one thing I really like about this dungeon as a whole is that each section, it's a lot of the same trash, but it's all not difficult, but it's all has something about it that you need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
think
the
that's fun.
trash is
You got
great.
the fish
It's
sticks.
great. The trash
Fish
is
sticks in
great.
the beginning, you got the kicks on the pirates, and then obviously at the end you have the pulsars, and then the
Mhm.
really important
Kick.
kicks you have to get. So the whole dungeon just feels like fun and engaging. There's no part of it that makes you feel like, this is the boring part. And then the last boss is obviously just a hoot of
Can we
bunch of
please
mechanics.
segue off the dragon and talk about the last boss? Because the last boss
go
is my
for it.
favorite boss
I love
of
it.
all time. There's no boss I like more than this boss. It's so
Okay,
exciting.
hold on.
It's
Question for you then.
What?
Can we just cut phase 1 out altogether then?
No, I like phase 1 because it warms you up. Like
Phase-
if it was just
30
phase
minutes
2,
of a dungeon. All right, now I need to warm up.
No. I mean, it warms you up like cinematically, right? Like, because if the room went dark right away, I'd be like, all right, it's the boss fight time. But it's like there's a point in the boss fight you're like, okay, now we really go. It's the drop. You can't just start the song with the bass drop.
You gotta drop. You gotta drop.
She
gotta have the
says
bass
of the time captain that she loves so much, where the bass literally, I'm a dragon. Let's fucking go.
No, I don't. That has a different that boss is you do the same thing the whole time. It's a different sort of thing. I don't rate it among the greats. It's not cinematic. I mean, the last boss is like a raid boss vibe almost. Like there's phases. It's exciting. There's movement. Like there's stuff the healer has to do.
When I pug that, the healers don't soak. And
They
it's
expect
Don't
the
soak at
range.
all.
They expect the range
I-
DPS to.
No,
Yeah,
I
they're
always
like-
clarify with them first when we're going to the boss who's soaking.
bro.
Every time.
And by the way, when she says that, she means just with Haywire when she's in Discord with him. But
No, when I'm
Pug-
pugging, it takes 2 seconds to say healer, you got soak.
Okay.
Boom. That's it. I could type it in 5 seconds.
We got a lot of things to talk about, so let's put a bow on this.
What's next?
No, I thought we're done.
One last thing I want to add is about streets in particular.
Street.
Is if your tank is doing the pull where he runs into the mailroom and gathers everything and brings it out, a really fun thing to do that everyone will find really funny is to lean on the side of the side of the building and go, "What's taking him so long?" And then he just runs out with everything.
Done. I'll do that.
She's gonna hit me with that, and I'm gonna fucking go berserk. All right.
Good tip. Crash
All
Out
right.
Part 2.
Best season ever.
Yes,
The
easily.
numbers are
Very good, I
suggesting
like
it.
it.
Numbers are
It's very
suggesting it.
fun.
Okay.
Well, with Frank crashing out, is it really the best season
Yeah,
ever?
but
I
I think that's
know.
because I hate my friends. I don't know.
Oh,
I think that's where we're getting to.
That's
All
our
right.
next episode.
Let's talk about some of the buffs. Boomkins didn't they threatened? No, they didn't threaten to close their Discord, but they got the buff they've always asked for. I was listening to this earlier on the Podyssey. It's so strange because of the damage profile that they just aren't going to do well on single target. It sounds like no matter what, and then they end up nerfing some of their single target stuff. It looks like. So overall, I hear it's a buff for balance. Is it going to really make their day? I don't know. We'll see, but I guess it's a step in the right direction.
I mean, our number. Oh, sorry.
Well, I was gonna say, Lithium, you happy about this blood stuff? Armor?
No,
No? Oh, okay.
no.
Throw it away.
They need.
We don't need this.
They need to do a lot more to make blood.
I think Blood DK needs a
viable.
rework, honestly.
What for?
Dude, if it gets a rework, it'll be
hold
meta
on.
again.
Hold on. Okay, hold on. Is it okay that there are some classes like Balance that will never be great in raid unless, very specific niches met? And there are some that are like, oh, Blood DK will almost always be great in raid, but maybe not in Mythic Plus. Is that not okay that some of the specs won't always be perfect at everything?
I kind of like it. I don't
You
know.
like what? What do you
Well,
like?
I like knowing that my specs general damage profile is like geared towards something, right? Like, so if like let's say I want to lean into survival hunter, it's always been like a mythic plus spec, not a raid spec. Sometimes, you know, we have these builds that end up excelling in the raid, but I know that if they stick to the general class design, I'm always going to have fun in mythic plus. You know, they're not going to just turn it on its head and be like, hey, it's single target blasting spec now. That would kind of ruin it for me. So there's a comfort knowing that, like,
Well,
I'm playing the one that's
I
gonna be what I wanna do.
like where you get to change your hero talents and you can talent into what you want it to be. If you want it to be good for Mythic Plus, you change your talents around and it's great. If you want it to be good for Raid, you change your talents around, it's great. Unless you're scrap and you manually change all your talents and you have nothing, you have nothing
I gotta
set.
have here.
Yeah,
From
until
the
you don't.
standpoint of it being an MMO, and if you're someone who values class identity, that kind of thing I think is important. But I feel like the way the game is now, a lot, especially how people get rewards, I think they want to be able to do all types of content and be, at the very least, have like a build they can play in it that feels good to play. So I do think that there's nothing wrong with that idea based on like a traditional kind of WoW standpoint MMO, but I think just the way the modern game is designed, it's tough to kind of just keep them in those vacuums because
Yeah.
To be fair, Blood DK is fine for all the content we're gonna do, right?
We
If
say
I
that
was
every
playing
time.
Blood, yeah, if I was playing Blood
You
DK,
did
it'd be
MDI
fine.
in Blood last season.
Yeah, it'd be fine. The issue is when you start getting into those hierarchies with Blood and you want to get into groups, good luck to you, my friend. Especially if you're pugging. So,
and I think that's another one of those things where it's like it comes down to stuff we discussed before, where is the meta just, hey, this is the meta because these just happen to be the best, or does the meta need to be curated by Blizzard? And it's just, I don't think there's a real answer for it.
I
Just
think
everyone has a different opinion on it.
Well, and I think if this would be a perfect world, I know it's going to be insanely hard to pull off, but I think it'd be a perfect world of where they have these open route dungeons and you can take your route based on your tank's strengths, right? So let's say they buff Blood by making it so that it's like the best spell caster tank. I know it's not, but let's just say it is, right? Well then, okay, cool. Find a way to make the dungeon that there's a route for spell casting, like heavy pulls, that allows them to do the 20s, whereas, you know, the Prot Warrior or whatever has the more physical side of the route, and they can route a different way to make it so that they also can get the 20 done. That's the way I would try to approach the
I
problem.
could see that.
Because I can't imagine reworking Blood other than making it the same as another spec that's already there, right?
When they rework Blood ends up being meta.
Well, every rework ends up being meta. I mean,
the problem with Blood is if it's not, if it becomes so tanky, plus you can just maintain yourself the entire time, it's going to be meta that season. And then what happens is they do like Death Strike nerfs and they do all these other things, and then it kind of drops to the bottom because it gets one shot a lot.
But the point being is, like, it can't be, because like Brewmaster would be the other alternative, or maybe even Vengeance. It's like,
I love Brewmaster.
They don't want to homogenize this idea of what Blood is, even though the theme can be this the way it wants, but the gameplay ends up being Brewmaster and or Vengeance or whatever. So like
I love Blood.
Yeah. Can't be too good at what it does, because it's like, okay, like a good Blood DK, like the healer never has to touch them pretty much, right? But then it's like, why not take that all the time, because then the healer can focus more on the DPS or whatever. So they can't make that too good, you know?
Yeah, I love playing Blood. When I played it, it was fun.
It does seem like with some dungeons like Dawnbreaker and Floodgate, they are kind of taking the open routing a bit more, and that's kind of a philosophy they're going with. So I could definitely, so I could definitely see that being something they do more of in the future.
But that's the way you solve it, right? Like, make it so that you know, 3 tanks are good at this, 3 tanks are good at that. They each have their own strengths within that, and then, you know, a Tall Jazar as an example, it's like, okay, well, we can go this way around on the left, or we can go this way around on the right, and the right is this version and the left is that version.
What
Yeah.
that kind of does too, I think, is you're obviously going to have one where people are going to be like, well, this is the fastest, so this is what we're all going to do. But then if you're someone who's like, well, I don't care, I'm going to play prop paladin no matter what, and so we're going to do the prop paladin route, you
Yeah,
know, because
exactly.
it's like this is the viable one, yeah. So
And even if it is a little slower, I'll find a way as a player to make it like maybe we double pull to make, or you know.
yeah,
And imagine an MDI where each dungeon, maybe not necessarily each dungeon, but like let's say 2 out of the 3 dungeons has one tank, and then the third they're like, oh well, this is actually really the blood route is way better.
yeah.
And we
That could be
prefer it
cool.
even, you know, and so like one team takes blood, the other team takes prot warrior or whatever. So, anyways, Hunter,
Og
BM
is
Hunters.
back.
No,
You don't want
No.
to talk about the evoker changes?
no.
I
I
love-
mean, they buffed the non-meta
Yeah, no,
devastation.
I want Scale Commander to be the
They-
good hero talent.
Literally buffed that other hero talent so people would pick it, and now they're buffing the other one back.
That's what they always
silly,
do.
Some
Scale-
silly guys.
Scale Commander is so cool looking, and it sucks to play because it's just not as good.
Well, I'm curious about why Preservation got a deep breath damage buff, but whatever. Okay, maybe
I don't care
maybe
about
for
that.
Mythic Plus purposes. I don't know.
But these is like raid tuning stuff
Well,
mostly.
no, but Prez is like insane
yes, that's a
in
very
raid.
weird.
It's
yeah.
insane in raid. So I don't know why they got
Mhm.
this other than whatever.
BM Hunters, I hate them all.
BMs are going to be meta in a second. Sorry, Fury Warriors.
Yeah, I know.
You're not going to be in the comp anymore. Fixed a huge Mistweaver bug. Everyone's happy with that. And then Discipline got an insane. Atonement has been fluctuating like up and down. I feel like
Yeah, they can't make up their minds.
well, and
It's
again,
fine.
poor priests have the same problem with Shadow as well. It's like, what the fuck is going on there? All right. Anyways, those are the buffs. This is what it currently looks like. Again, Fury Warrior took a huge jump up.
Having a moment.
They're having their moment.
22 slots, dude.
Poor mages. I think again, this you look at this and you think, well, it's just because they're all playing Arcane, so that's why. But Shadow Priest just I am surprised to see Shadow Priest this low. Now, granted, they do have a little bit of an uptick in like the top tier, top level performance, but when the season started, the Shadow Priests that I was seeing were pumping. So I'm
Yeah.
surprised to see him so low. And then of course,
Let's see
Druids,
the.
C
I'm
tier.
excited to see the BM Hunter jump next week.
I mean, that's good for me because like I'm always saying like historically they don't nerf survival, but I think
What?
if BM is high, then survival will be even less have a target on it because it is pumping right now for like no effort pumping.
One thing
Wow.
I find
Yeah.
really
No effort.
interesting
Yep.
is a lot of the specs near the top. It's crazy how much like the average damage is from the top damage compared for like the lower specs. It seems like the more potential damage you have compared to your average, the better your spec is overall.
Do you
Like,
guys
It's hard to say.
do you guys think it's
Yeah.
strange that they haven't done like a sweeping pass on tuning so far?
Yeah, no, I'm shocked that it's only been a month, right? I feel like when they do tuning geared towards Mythic Plus, it's normally like between the beginning and the 0.5 patch, right?
I
Like,
feel like it's
they do
usually
the
the
raid
week
shit
the week
first.
after the Race to World first, like that. Let's call
No,
it the
that's
second
when they
tuning
do raid.
pass.
Well, they do like emergency raid tuning, right? Like
No, that they do
the-
that during week 1.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what they do it first, and now we're seeing most of the tuning seem to be geared towards raid, like the balance buff and things like that was geared towards like single target and having them keep up
Well,
in raid.
Arguably, they only tune towards raid. That's
Yeah,
what
but
they've
I
said.
think those guys at the bottom, those mages and stuff, they're gonna see a
Those
buff.
mages.
Hopefully, enhanced shaman we're gonna see some balancing geared towards Mythic Plus. That's how it was last season. Is that there was a tuning pass, and then like 3 weeks or 4 weeks later, I remember we're like, where the fuck is the class tuning? It was like
Well,
well,
I
months
don't
in.
know how much this plays into it, but if you look at like the average, so like the Frost DK is 6.8, and then you have 6.4 for Havoc, and then it's like 6.2, 6.2, 6.2. Like it's very close. There is some outliers at the bottom, but I mean, it could just be everything's a bit closer than we realize, just because obviously, when you get to a certain key level, you're only playing with certain specs.
Well, and on top of that, the top players will all push this number up because they're
Yeah,
all
for
playing in
sure.
this space.
The amounts, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, look
Um,
at the runs, man. The runs are insane. For
The amounts.
for Frost DK. They're
Oh,
17k, dude.
But this is
Yeah,
this is
well,
pretty healthy
compared
though.
to
Did
the
you notice
compared to
how-
the 3 survival.
Well, Gotta rep. But you saw at the top of that, it was fizz heavy, which I like to see, which is cool.
But look, I mean,
Love
like
to see
this is where 4 weeks into the second season, 5 weeks, I guess, so it was a little bit later. But you don't see like the
That
metas
og.
start forming until those
Oh,
pass.
it's coming back.
This is
Coming
where
back.
this is where Proc got buffed, you know, and I don't know. I guess maybe not this coming, but the following week we'll get a proper big tuning pass.
So another thing I've noticed is that like in like DKs, the utility is so important, like especially like in Halls of Atonement. Like the Halls of Atonement with DKs
I'm sorry.
are like
What utility?
the grip, dude.
Oh, the
The
grip. The
like,
grip.
The
grip
rate
Okay.
buff, dog.
is like life changing, man. Like for some of these
will say,
dungeons. So
if you're a DK DPS main, enjoy it, because I feel like after this expansion, they might not let you guys out of the basement for a bit.
why do you think so?
They've
That's
been
'cause
eating
not
good
been
all
They've-
season. or
they've
all
been almost
expansion.
they've been meta pretty much all
Well,
expansion.
DH is going to be meta in a huge way next one because they're getting a whole nother spec.
Well, they're getting
Possibly.
a support spec.
Right.
It's-
The
All
support
right, we're
spec.
running out of time, so I'm gonna move us
Okay,
along.
all right.
All right,
Okay,
there's
move along.
some things I wanted to talk about this week that we're just gonna have to wait till next time. But
No, wait,
There
let's
won't
go.
be anything to
there
talk
was
about next
one
week.
thing I wanted to talk about before we go. Okay, so there was
What?
a survey sent out, and actually I got a picture from JB's tweet here of Blizzard sending out a survey saying, "Hey guys, we're trying to improve the dungeon queuing experience." Last time we had seen something or heard something about this, it was about the idea of a solo queue for LFG. And it sounds like, I think it was on, Ian said in one of the interviews that like that's dead in the water to a degree. Mostly because of what we talked about, how we think it would be maybe too toxic. However, there are some other things in here that are kind of stand out to, let me see if I have the list of the questions. So this is, I'm going to ask you guys the non-interested versus extremely interested of these questions. So the group finder can automatically form a group for you based off criteria you set up as a group leader, i.e., I want a mage, I want IO of 30k or 3k, I want a resto druid healer, stuff like that. So it would then automatically fill the group with random people. Would you be interested in that or not interested?
No, I won't use that at all.
Why not?
Because I know
Even if
nobody's
it's
putting
robust like that.
survival hunter in their checkbox. So
Definitely not.
like
Sure,
so
but
I
sure,
feel like
but
it's gonna
if
make the
you-
problem worse.
Yeah, but like, okay, maybe it's a little worse for like, okay. I'll put
For
it this
everybody
way.
who doesn't play the top three
let's
spec.
put it in two paths here, right?
Okay.
There's a person who does that. They say, I am a, what's a non-meta right now? I'm an enhancement shaman.
Survival
right?
hunter.
I'm an enhancement
No,
shaman.
You're the spear bro.
And so you
Respect.
then say, I only want a prot warrior, I only want a resto shaman, I only want a arcane mage, and I only want a havoc demon hunter. Let's say that's how you do it. Well, the likelihood of you filling those is going to take some time, I feel like, because you're limiting
So
your
then
pool.
why even use like if you-
Because
if you
it's
can't get this spec?
encouraging you to not do that, right? So the second
So
scenario
you-
scrap is you just say, I don't care what the other two DPS are, but I do care that it is a resto shaman, just for example, because I want that buff. And I'm okay with either prot paladin, prot warrior, or whatever, vengeance, right? And again, I'm not saying that this is exactly how it would be robust. Let's just say it is that robust. It would maybe open up the idea that scrap, now you're just a survival, you're just a player that would be queued in because they didn't care what DPS they took as long as you have a certain IO. And voila, you're now in
Yeah.
a group where everyone else is declining you because they only were accepting arcane mages. Does that make
I
sense?
mean, I'd do it.
It
I can
shifts
say,
the time burden onto the group maker to be less constraint. Because if you're less constraint, then you will get people faster. Does that
I
make
wonder
sense?
if you'll be able to say no health loss.
Given
Oh, I
the,
wish.
That seems problematic, right? Like
as
doesn't
well.
it-
No, fuck
given
no.
the failure of my wheel venture, I think this is definitely something where if I wanted to try a new DPS alt, or if I just wanted to just get some keys and under the belt, it'd be nice to be able to just get yourself in there and not have to worry about like doing group finder, getting accepted, or putting your own key up
Exactly.
and waiting. You just click your boxes, and yeah, sure, maybe if you have a lot of specific parameters, you might still have to wait a bit, but you're not having to pay attention to it. You can do something else,
Well,
and farm a mount or something.
Yeah, and on top of that, like imagine it from this perspective of like for tens, especially 2-3 weeks from now, you're not gonna care that much. You're just like, I just want to make sure they have, 2600 IO. That's all I care about, and then everything else fills for you. You're happy, right? Because like even if you see an arcane mage that's 3,300 IO, scrap. We had an example of this, I think, the other day, where we had someone or that tank that came into my group that was 3,000 IO, and it was like, oh, Prot Warrior 3K, this is gonna be easy peasy. That's not guaranteeing you anything, right? Especially this early in the season. So more if it's just like, look, let's just roll the dice, and there's some other things here that will pop up to maybe like ease this as well, your worries about it. But I think this would be a great idea. And also, as Io pointed out, the inverse of it, of me just saying to the group finder, I just want to be in a Halls of Atonement that's a plus 10 at least. And, you know, I'm willing to bring drums and, you know, whatever it may be. And then you can walk away from the computer, or not necessarily walk away, but like I don't have to keep queuing for those 5 dungeons that wait until they accept me or they don't, and then I just manually close it, blah, blah, blah. Like, I like the idea of the automatic part of it, even though I might not use it over the LFG stuff. Having it for when I just want to get my 10 done instead of like fighting everyone in this queue system, just being automatically added would be great, I think.
I don't see myself using this.
Wow.
Just don't-
All right, so not interested at all for her. I'm moderately interested. Io?
Yeah, there was a time when I wouldn't have really thought this would be very useful, but I do think now that there could definitely be an audience for it if something like it came out, depending on how they did it.
Okay. Lithium, did you? I don't remember if I asked. So I'm getting tired.
Nah, I'm middle of the road.
Okay.
Moderately interested. We'll see.
All right.
If they do it.
All right. Group leader's key is resilient, i.e. protect from depletion for the first group they lead each week. So it wouldn't matter what level it is, but your first key is always resilient.
Yep, I'll have that.
Over our current system?
No, I also want resilient.
So you want
You
both?
just get one gimme. Yeah, I know. I love
Oh my
resilient. I wouldn't want to change it, but I also want one mulligan.
What if they changed the resilient system overall to include all keys, but you only got one mulligan per resilient? Like, so you got a key for 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. I like the system how it is now. I know there's pros and cons. I think the pros outweigh the cons of the system. I know it could be more generous. I don't think it needs to be. But if they want to give me a gimme, a little oops, I'll have it.
I think if they do this, I think if you have a resilient key, you should get one of those little like augment rune bags or something. Like if you queue with a resilient key, I think that would be a cool incentive to do it for people. That way you can help people get their keys up too if people are trying to get like a higher level. And also, obviously you don't have to do it, but you know, if you do the group with them and you're like, we almost had it, just one mistake, let's try it again, then you can just group with them naturally without having to use the group finder to do it.
You know what I would love?
Hold on.
Is a token that you could spend once a week to make a key resilient. So it wouldn't have to be the first one of the week, but when you finally get that key you need for score, you can use your one token of the week.
You can do that. You just got to time them all on the key level you want to get resilient on.
Yeah, I like that, but I also want the gimme. Like if I could have one gimme a week.
I love this idea. Oh God, now I've forgotten. God damn it. Io, you just said after the idea of the pouch, what was the other thing you said?
Yeah. So let's say you put your resilient 12 up or whatever, and you get your group in, and like you guys almost time it, but you don't because you fail it, and you guys are like, well, you guys want to try it again, but we don't need the queue to do it, obviously, because we're just like all here already. So
I like that idea that resilient only is allowed if you guys all group together again to do it, right? So, for example, if I'm in a pug and I have a 13 and it's nothing's resilient, but at the end we're like, oh, we were so close. You could say, okay, well, let's do a vote, and if all 5 agree, it like rewinds you to the back to the start and says, okay, you have one more try, right? That'd be interesting.
So one of the main reasons I like resilient is because I can curate my group. If I end up with a donkey in my group, I can say, okay, let's get rid of this guy, get someone else in, and then
I
roll.
get that.
Resilient's there to protect you against the donkeys, not
against
the
donkeys.
players.
Donkey protection.
Yeah.
But this is more about the group queue itself, not necessarily about what you would do in like the normal. Which in theory is still an option. Yeah. This is just an additional thing you can do.
Well,
I don't want them to take away resilient.
In fairness, I think this is more about trying to get people to make to start their own keys as opposed to the anything else. But anyways, okay. Group leaders receive additional crests after completion of the dungeon. Would you do it?
Yeah, I don't see
Would
a
it?
negative to that.
No, I know, but I guess what I'm saying is, would it lean you into making your key more likely?
No, I cap out and crest so quickly. I run so many keys when I'm running them that it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Iyo, Lithium.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely like it at some point. I think, especially for like an alt or something, because I feel like this would be when you would be using them for like an alt. So to get your alt in there, then to be like, okay, we're not going to time it, but let's just finish it because we all want to get our like additional like 10 crests or whatever.
Yeah.
If
Well,
they
this would only be the
remove the
group leader.
caps, yeah,
Oh, okay.
it is. It's just a group leader. But if there wasn't caps, then sure. But because there's caps, I don't really care.
All right. Group Finder will recommend players with a similar skill level to you as a group leader. Now,
So credit card, what is this?
Well,
Like,
well, no, it's IO, effectively IO.
oh, okay. I was gonna say, what if you're like bad and then you get looped in?
I feel like
If
there's
it's
gotta be
also-
some sort of MMR
Yeah.
because I mean, you
Yeah.
don't just want to get tossed in with people who don't know what they're doing if you're looking for a specific thing.
I
But
don't know how
also, I
this would
guess I
work
can-
though. Like,
Yeah, I don't get it. No, I think if it was IO, I feel like that it would say that. It's skill level. It's like, dude, this
Yeah,
guy
skill.
died 10 times in the last Dawnbreaker he was in, his skill goes down.
If
Like,
you're,
what the fuck?
if you have a high IO, but you don't kick anything, you don't even use your kick, is that a good skill? I don't know if that's a
the
good
game to
skill.
record that information because I'm gonna end up in
well,
a bad
they're
social
gonna have
credit.
they're gonna have their own damage meters soon, so they might be able to start doing that.
They're gonna
That'd
do
be
their own
interesting.
TDV.
Yeah. All
I
right.
don't love that. I mean, I think part of the fun of queuing is sometimes you get the donkey every now and then. Like,
I just don't understand how this would work. Like, isn't it already recommending players with a similar skill? I just get to decide what that similar value is.
That's why I think this
because
is
they are
different
saying I'm
than-
interested in. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Group Finder will
I don't
recommend
know.
players with similar play
Yeah, I
styles
think
or goals to you as a group leader.
Well, yeah, you'd like that. I think in
Yeah, I
case
think-
you're just like, hey, vault, I just like for vault or whatever. Like, you don't
Yeah.
really care if you time it.
There should be a checkbox for that. For this, is this completion?
is.
Is this fault? there is?
Yeah.
Oh, great, excellent, good job.
Yeah. I don't see a downside to this. I don't see why anyone would like not want this to be in the game.
Mm.
All right. So my question of the week for you guys, and we'll do this quickly because we're just at the 2-hour marker. What would you do to the Group Finder right now to make a big impact on it? Just one thing.
I know.
What?
Ban all the key sellers.
Well, okay.
Current-
By the way,
current
tip of
one
the
or-
week.
or
Tip of the
this
week.
one?
Did you see how you can get rid of them in your queue?
Yes, Lithian solved it for me.
Yeah.
I still want to get rid of all of them.
Yeah.
Like, it just pisses me off.
Are we
Okay.
are we talking about the current one, or are
Yeah,
we talking
yeah,
about
current
this
one.
one in particular?
If you were to change
I would
something.
I would make it that you could. I know you can put in like info for when you sign up for a key, like 3K last season, but maybe
Mhm.
you can put in like a profile, maybe just link like some
Yeah.
of your like do
Or
like
build a
raider
profile
IO,
that's
like,
just like always there.
yeah, like oh I'm IO, like this is my goal for the season.
That'd be
These are the best keys I've done or whatever,
like
like
that.
just stuff like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's a
Oh, I like that a lot.
By the way, just I don't think we said it out loud. If you ever want to get rid of the gold sellers, the key sellers in your queue, just go into your filter and set minimum rating to 1, and it will kill all those people out of your queue, which is a huge deal.
Yeah.
It made a
Yeah.
huge difference. So thank you, Lithium, for telling me
Huge difference.
that. Okay, Lithium, what would you change?
I don't know. I mean, I'm good with it the way it is. But if I feel like I'm not getting into groups, I'll just pop on my brewmaster and tank keys if I want to. Like
Oh.
that's
No,
if
but
you're a
that's
tank
not-
or healer, like the reason why IO hates DPS is because you have to queue.
Yeah.
And you get rejected. My Fury Warrior's rejection rate is so high.
Yeah, I'm at like a
And-
5% acceptance rate, and that sounds good, honestly.
Yeah, it's just so, and I'm okay with it because it's kind of a game where I just keep going. So I don't know.
No,
See,
but-
I think that does go to show that my strategy of hitting it early goes better because I have like a 10% acceptance rate as an enhanced shaman.
You bring lust, man. Fury Warrior doesn't
But
bring
I
lust.
often am not going into a key that needs lust, like
No,
at least
but-
half the time.
No, but scrap, even just the idea of it, like, even when I was a mage that wasn't meta, like Arcane wasn't meta, I just had an easier time because I just find the one, like, that one group's like, oh, I don't have a hero. Or even if they
There's-
did, they have a hunter who
Yeah.
doesn't want to bring out their pet like you.
Mhm. There's
you
a
go, "Oh,
ton
get that
of hunters and resto shamans are really common right now. So I'm not there's very few that just like need less. Not
They
I
think
mean,
you're
not
elemental.
non-existent.
I don't think
Well,
your IO is the reason why I scrap. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's
No.
obviously helping, but you're also going into higher key content that it no longer helps you.
You're just dragging the groups down, man. I'll be
Anyways,
honest with you.
I am.
Here's
but
what
don't
I
know
would
that.
do. Here's what I would do. I think the idea that if I want to queue for a key and doing the 5 keys, 5 queues per whatever, stop doing that shit. Let's just do it this way.
What?
I want to host my key. I have a database of everyone that is interested in doing a 10 Halls of Atonement. Everyone available. It's like a spreadsheet in the sense that I can filter it to the top IOs. I can filter it to the classes or whatever. And
But
if
would
I
it move
wanted,
so fast if it's for everybody?
yeah, maybe like I'd have to figure. You're right. There's something I'd have to figure out there. But what I'm also
Yeah.
saying on the inverse of it, like forget even that side of it. Let's just say for the person who's queuing, I just say I want to do an HOA. I want to do a 10 or 11. I can click all the different levels I want to do. Or I'm okay with all 3 of these dungeons, or I'm okay with all dungeons. I just want to do a 10 from my vault, whatever it may be. Like I just select all the boxes I want to do. I hit that. And then all the groups that are out there looking for that kind of player can just see me instead of me having to queue specifically for like one dungeon over here and the other dungeon over here. My biggest frustration is I don't feel like the problem with the queuing system is that they're not taking me. It's that I'm applying for the wrong groups who for whatever reason, they're like, oh, I don't want a warlock. That's fine. I get it. Okay, whatever. You have you're more melee based or whatever. But now I can't queue for the other 5 10s that are out there.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah,
one's that
And so I'm
sucks.
sitting there going like, I don't know what you want, so I'm just sitting here in this limbo. You're not declining me for whatever reason. Fine, whatever. But it would be just simpler if it just said I want to do these sets of keys, and then on the other side for the person who's building the group could just see okay, there's all these warlocks, there's all these mages. Yes, you're right, Scrap. The thing might move very quickly. But in fairness, it also would encourage you, if it moved quickly, to say don't fuck around and wait. You need to make some decisions quickly. Now,
Okay,
sorry,
go
I
on.
was gonna say there is one flaw with this problem is that if it shows everyone's IO, they would just filter by IO and usually take the top of the group.
Of course.
That's a problem, of course, right? But if it does move quickly, all that matters is sooner or later, you will get into a group and it'll be fine. That's
I feel like
theoretically.
if it becomes you have to pick them quickly because they'll disappear so fast that you're not giving the extra chance to be like, oh, this guy's timed to 14. Oh, this guy sent a note, so there's little extra things that might help you get into a key when you otherwise wouldn't. Or it's gonna be focused on just the number and the class and quick impulses.
I
If you have
think
to
it
pick
won't
them
move that fast though, because think about it. It's not like the groups are forming and then going back down after they formed in a millisecond, right? They are I last time I put up a key, I was waiting probably 8 minutes to find a tank.
So I don't know how it works in that if there's 1 million keys run this week, but there's only 113 Halls of Atonement up. We're not seeing all the keys up at a time, right?
I think so. I mean, I don't think they
I
shard
don't think
those.
so. I think we're not being shown all the keys, but that's just
But why would that be the case if we're seeing all the bots? They're not limiting the bots to us, right?
there's just so many bots that they are.
Oh, God.
They're
Oh my
limiting.
God.
They're just a high
What?
percentage of the key.
I don't
groups.
think that's the case. I don't
It's
know
just
if there's
hard. If somebody knows about that, I want to know because it does make it's there's 1 million keys run, but there's 113 Halls
Yeah,
of Atonement at a time.
I can understand it if it was that you don't see all the keys obviously off the front, the opening page, splash page, whatever. But if you say filter to 13s, why would they limit you to only seeing one if there's 15 of them?
I don't know. I just thought that's how it worked because how are there 1 million keys run but only 113 at a time? It doesn't make
It's
sense.
a
Because they're
million
not running
keys over a
13s.
span of
Look,
time.
Go back.
Well, how
yeah.
many 13s were run last week?
Look,
They're not. Yeah, they're not running.
161,000.
That still seems like a lot more than there should only be one.
Yeah, because people are doing it with their
Well,
friends. They're not doing it in the
I guess so, I
LFR
guess so.
system.
Yeah,
or
I don't
LFG
know.
system.
There's a lot of factors. It could be time based. It could be a lot of things.
Also,
I
here,
don't
let's
know.
do some math real quick while you were saying that thing.
Oh,
Sorry.
here we
No, I'm
go.
gonna go to
We're
bed.
doing math. We're doing math. What?
You're probably
What?
right. I just
7
always
days,
suspected that we
24 hours
weren't
a
seeing all the
day.
keys.
60 minutes. Scrap.
Uh.
The 161 thing suggests that there is a 13 key that is either being run or, in your case, posted once every 20 seconds, right? And to think about that. So you're sitting in the queue and there's one done every 20 seconds, but how many of them are being actually posted in the LFG system? Probably
That's
1 out of 10.
Maybe think that's about right. I don't
Right?
know.
It means that there's like one every 3 minutes. There's gonna be a 13 that pops up.
See what you
Yeah.
did, Scrap.
Well, okay, maybe that makes sense to me. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't.
And again, that's assuming that people are actually pugging those more than they are actually just running them with their friends.
These are also completes.
Yeah, true,
so
exactly. That's
probably
true.
even
But
more.
well, anyways, okay. Any recommendations for anyone out there? Any last
Get 8
words?
Recommendations.
hours of-
I could
get
tell
8
you
hours
guys
of
about
sleep.
the portal and Tazavesh and
Oh,
EcoDome.
yeah, you already
no,
told us.
Oh, my lord.
No.
Okay.
I can't do that again.
No more tips.
Get 8 hours of sleep.
Yes,
and,
guys.
Yes.
Listen, we got one more key to do, so
No, we
you got
don't.
one for your
I
monk.
gotta go to bed.
You're not gonna get your 4 set, and I'm gonna say it's because you didn't fill your vault on that
and
monk.
that's okay. I'll survive. I'll
I
survive.
got no tips or recommendations this week, sadly.
Oh,
No
I got
tips.
to
I
wait.
gotta-
Did I tell you guys about the roses?
What roses?
The movie,
the
the roses.
Oh
No, you did
yeah,
not. No, you did
Oh
not.
man.
You told me about it, but I asked.
So the movie The Roses, Benedict Cumberbatch and Olivia Colman,
Oh, I saw the trailer
fucking
for that.
hysterical.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought it'd be like, oh, okay, fine. I was genuinely like laughing out loud like every minute. It was like insanely
Is it
well
a
written.
rom-com?
It's like an anti-rom-com.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
It's written by Mike Judge, who I think is the guy who does Beavis and Butthead and King of the Hill.
Yes,
oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yep,
Right?
yep.
Mike Judge, I think
Yep.
so.
That's Mike Judge, yep.
And again, it's Olivia Colman is so fucking funny.
Is it streaming or is it in theaters?
No, it's in theaters
It's in
right now.
theaters.
So that's my
Oh, okay, that's good. I'm gonna.
no, sorry,
see
Jay
if my
Roach is the guy who
girlfriend
did
can
it.
see
He's the guy that did Austin Powers and stuff.
Oh, I love
Oh,
Austin Powers.
okay.
So anyways, Jay Roach, again, it's fucking hysterical. Like the writing is so good, and yeah. Anyways, that's my recommendation. Go see it.
Okay, I think I will.
All right.
I'm curious why there was a 15-year gap between Meet the Fockers and Bombshell.
Well,
Wait,
well,
wait a minute, I haven't seen-
they're coming out with a new Meet the Fockers. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
Yeah.
With the same cast.
Yeah.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Let's see. What is it? I forgot what it's called. Little Fockers.
Little fuckers. Yeah, I was gonna say
Oh
because
my
they're so old
God.
now, they're gonna have little. I don't care for those movies.
Whatever. All right.
The first one is fun.
Oh,
but-
Focker in Law is the next one it's saying.
Oh, okay,
Anyway, so it doesn't matter. It's just all right.
it's late.
Episode
for us.
56. Get some sleep, Lithian. Come on, dude. We got to find. When can we find a way to do this podcast not at 2 and 3 in the morning?
When Scrap was,
happening.
we were supposed to.
8
we were supposed to
PM on
do it on
Friday.
Friday. We're supposed to do it on Friday.
Hey, hold
Lithian,
on.
why
But-
can't you switch your day with your wife to Mondays?
No, because I can't do Mondays.
I know.
Oh, so he can do
So
his
then
wife
we can do
day
them
on Monday.
Wednesdays. Yeah, he can do your wife on Mondays, right?
No. I'm
It
not
won't work.
changing. I'm not changing it. It's already painful.
You said that
as
the
it
people
is.
in your house you kind of liked, but you loved us, right? The
Yeah,
podcast is
yeah.
life.
I don't know about
I-
Scrap, but I mean, we could do early. Oh, no, Sunday's another day you can't do,
Bro,
right? Yeah.
Scrap's
You can't do Sunday, Wednesday.
Scrap's excuse for Friday was ridiculous.
I'm sorry, it
was
was
crazy.
true.
Do you want to tell us what it is real quick?
Okay,
Why
so
couldn't
I
you do the
forgot.
podcast?
Both me and my husband forgot it was our anniversary, and we only found out because my mom and dad texted us individually.
And for
happy
some reason, you
anniversary.
felt like you had to force a date in instead of just saying, "Hey, let's do something well,
Well, no,
thought
well,
out." And
not forced, but I was like, oh, like let's just go get dinner, and I was like Friday. I was like, yeah, Friday's good.
But
I was
that's
like,
not
oh, I
even
got a
the
then we
offense.
did
podcast.
keys.
That's not even the
Yeah.
offense. That's not even the offense. What the offense was is you told us all week, "Hey, let's try to make it work
Yeah.
Friday."
Right.
Hey, Frank, is there any way that you can get get
I
the
was
family to
thinking
bed
you
by
would
8?
drop
and-
out and I wouldn't be in trouble, but because I was
Episode
like, no way
56,
Frank's gonna get-
everyone. Scraps an asshole. We love you
Okay,
all. We'll
Yeah.
see you
Bye.
soon. Who knows? It's tired.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.